it's dangerous, all right? So again, that's coming right through Center Point right now, and then next is going to be Chalkville and Clay, the northern part of Trussville. Then it moves up into St. Clair County. And again, the tornado is crossing over Highway 79. It's about to cross over Highway 75 in Center Point. It's about to come out here across places like the Center Point Elementary School. The elementary school had damage back in 2012 with that pre-dawn tornado. And again, that's going to come right through the core of Center Point. Pinson is right here. And remember, tornadoes are small. They're not big. Counties are large. But that tornado is going to more likely stay south of Pinson. This is downtown Pinson. The elementary school is right here at my fingertip, Pinson Elementary School. But again, the tornado is coming through Center Point right now, and then ultimately it's come out here. Chalkville is located right here. Center Point, Chalkville, Clay. All right. In terms of Trussville, this will affect the far northern part of Trussville. And again, for those that were here in 2012, think about that path. The main downtown part of Trussville is way down here. The tornadic circulation is going to affect the far, far, far northern part of Trussville. Again, up here toward Clay and Chalkville. So Center Point, Chalkville, Clay, be sheltered now. And again, by being sheltered, we're talking a small room on the lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. Everybody has a helmet. The other things we like for people to have, hard-soled shoes. If you have to walk across a tornado debris field, your feet can be shredded. And at the same time, everybody needs a portable air horn as well, okay? All right, so again, this is your tornadic circulation, which is right here. Again, don't worry about that. This is what we're concerned about right here. Again, this is about to cross through Highway 75 right now. This is Pinson, okay? That's Highway 75 going up toward Aniana in Blount County. And again, you can see the new polygon that has been drawn in. And this newer polygon is a smaller polygon because we have a very well-defined location of this tornado. And again, this will be passing really north of Trussville. Chalkville is right here. The community of Clay is right here. So if you are anywhere near these places we're calling out, you need to be sheltered right now, okay? No cars, no mobile homes, because those are the worst possible places to be in a situation like this. And obviously, when the warning was initiated about 20 minutes ago, that's when mobile home residents should have gone to a shelter or to any gas station, anything that's open 24 hours a day. So again, we're still watching the tornadic circulation that is coming up into Chalkville right now. It's come on through Center Point.
James, some damage reports at Walker's Chapel Road exit on I-65. High tension power lines down across exit ramp. Okay.
And again, that represents a tornado. And I will say the debris we are seeing here is being, in fact, this is velocity. Let's go back to the debris. And again, once again, that debris is being lofted most likely to 10, 15,000 feet up. And this is parts of buildings and boards and bricks and glass and nails and structures like that. And again, we can see a lot of power flashes from people. These are transformers that are being disrupted. So again, there's your debris signature right there. It's crossed over Highway 75. And again, this is not too far from Center Point Elementary, Center Point High School, Irwin Intermediate School. And again, from here, it's going to come on out toward Clay and Chalkville. Chalkville is located right here. And so, again, this is your polygon right here. The polygon has gotten smaller in that we know exactly where the tornado is located now based on the debris we're seeing on radar. Trussville is down here, the main part of Trussville. But again, this is something you've got to take seriously. We say now this is a confirmed tornado. We didn't have this product 10 years ago. This is part of the new dual polarization products that we started using about 6, 7, 8 years ago. But this is an amazing product where we can actually see debris being lofted. The product is called correlation coefficient. You see a negative drop in that. And let's go back to the reflectivity for just a second, Taylor. And,
yeah, there's some talk in the chat about the double.
Right, you've got a lowered CC up and through here. Let's look at the velocity next. That's reflectivity, so let's go look at the velocity. And again, you can see that there's not really any strong evidence. There's evidence of rotation right down here, but not really up and through here. So again, we're going to focus on this southern part, which is right here. And again, this is the possible tornado that is in the process of coming through Center Point, then coming through the process of or coming through Chalkville, then coming through Clay, and then moving up into St. Clair County. I want to expand it really quickly and let's show this new tornado warning for St. Clair County, just to give people a heads up that's up in St. Clair County, north and east of this. So again, I want to stress, this is your polygon for St. Clair County. This is where people should be sheltered. And really, it's specifically for people that live near US 11 or near Interstate 59, Springville to Asheville. And again, St. Clair Springs, Whitney Junction, Horse Pens 40, Straight Mountains up in Blount County, so that's north of the polygon. But notice that Odenville, Branchville, Pell City, Wattsville, not in this warning. We do not issue warnings based on counties. We issue warnings based on geometric shapes, polygons, and that tornadoes do not affect an entire county. They affect a small part of a county. We're trying to stop all this over-warning, and that's the reason that the storm-based warnings kicked in years ago. So, again, we've got a possible tornado coming out of northeastern Jefferson into St. Clair. Let's go back and take a look at the debris once again as we are in the process of watching this right there. That is the representation of the tornadic debris signature that is in the process of moving northeast. And Taylor, I'm going to let you kick in for just a second while I change computers, so I'll be right back.
Okay. So yeah, we're watching what has been a confirmed tornado across parts of Jefferson County, just moved through Center Point. This is going to continue heading northeastward, so that puts Candlewood Lakes in the path of this circulation. It's moving through the northern portion of Chalkville. And as we look at the velocity, this is going to be the different wind speeds, different directions. At this point, does look like that circulation is starting to move a little bit farther northeastward towards Eagle Ridge. And sometimes what happens is when we're looking at that correlation coefficient, that debris signature, it can follow the actual circulation just a bit. So what I want to do is hold it here on the velocity, and I'm seeing the indication, the best indication of rotation at this point, moving through Eagle Ridge, Candlewood Lakes. That's moving through the city of Clay. So County Road 30. If you live along County Road 30, you need to make sure you are in your safe place. Eventually, this will be moving towards Dogwood Estates in the coming minutes. So if any of these roads sound familiar to you, if you live along Trustful Clay Road, if you live along County Road 30, this is when you need to be in your safe space. The good news at this point, I'm seeing a little bit of an indication of broadening of that rotation, but this has been a confirmed tornado, so we need to treat it as that. And we do have some damage reports back east of I-65 from this circulation. We're starting to see more damage reports come in from some of the folks that did deal with this same circulation. So this is a storm that we need to take very seriously. I'm going to put back on that correlation coefficient. And at this point, not seeing a super strong indication of that lowering of the CC co-located with that velocity signature. So that could indicate that at least for a moment, maybe we're not seeing that debris lofted, but these storms certainly cycle. So at times they will be on the ground and you can see it lift for a little bit and then it can tighten back up. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue watching that circulation. I'm going to change it back here to the velocity so we can get a good idea of where exactly we are seeing the strongest indication of rotation at this point. We're getting some new information here. So the tornado warning continues. So we are looking at that circulation that is near the city of Clay. And at this point, a little bit harder to pick out where exactly that circulation is, but it does appear this would be the area here near Candlewood Lakes where we are seeing the strongest indications of rotation at this point. So Candlewood Lakes.
Close to the Clay Chalkville High School. So again, some of the neighborhoods up and through there, Pilgrim's Rest, Clay Chalkville High School. Just be aware that it's, again, the analog to this is the 23rd of January, 2012. And I'm not saying this is the same strength. I'm not saying it's the exact same path. It's probably not, but it's close. And if you're anywhere close to that path in 2012, you certainly need to be sheltered. And again, this is Clay Chalkville Road right up here. So again, this tornadic signature here is going to be soon moving out of Jefferson into St. Clair counties. This is the county line right here. So this will be out of Jefferson County fairly soon and into St. Clair County exclusively here in a matter of minutes. So we can give Jefferson County an all clear in probably about 10 minutes. But again, we are watching the chat sessions here and a lot of social media reports. And again, we've had some reports of trees down. At the moment, I don't have reports of structural damage, although there are reports of neighborhoods impacted on the east side of Interstate 65 in Fultondale. We also have reports of significant damage at the Walker Chapel Road exit on I-65 with high-tension power lines down across the exit ramp. So again, there's apparently been damage from this in the Fultondale area. You saw that signature coming right through Fultondale. So again, this is velocity. Let's go back to the correlation coefficient product, the debris tracker, if you will. And again, we're starting to lose that signature, which is a good thing. So again, the signature in terms of debris, and again, this is what we're watching right here. And notice how it begins to fade away as it comes up here toward Clay and Clay Chalkville High School, Clay Elementary School, and that's a good thing, and hopefully that trend continues. But it could be cycling. These will be somewhat cyclic this evening. Sometimes these things get wrapped up and they occlude and they go away and then they redevelop. But this is the first warning of the night. So far, up until now, these storms have been pretty well behaved. But again, we've got a tornado warning for the northeastern corner of Jefferson County. And this is specifically for Clay and Chalkville. And Argo is right down in through here, and then it's going to cross over into St. Clair County. Springville is located right here. Old Springville Road runs down here through Clay, and that's Old Springville Road. And then this is Interstate 59 right here. That's US 11 right here. So really anybody from Clay back over to Springville, obviously you want to be sheltered. We hope that the signature continues to diminish, and it has in the last few volume scans, but at this point the tornado warning will continue. The tornado moving northeast. We should mention we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens County in West Alabama. This is for a storm on the western side of the state. And again, there's no evidence of a tornado here, but just to give you a quick note, we have the possibility of large hail falling in this storm that is coming up through Pickensville. That'll be coming out toward Carrollton and Aliceville. So again, for Pickens County, that is a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 12 midnight tonight. But again, we're going to focus on the tornado warning. So let's go back to St. Clair and northeastern Jefferson counties. And we are going to watch to see how this whole thing plays out. In fact, let's leave that wide view in for just a second, just kind of give you a reference point. Birmingham is right here. The tornado came through Fultondale. It's been coming up through Pawnee, Center Point, Clay Chalkville, and it's about to cross over into St. Clair County. Weather's just horrible in St. Clair County, really from Asheville back down here toward Margaret, Springville, St. Clair Springs. There could be some small hail falling. And again, we're watching not just that rain, but we're watching for the tornadic circulation. So let's go to the velocity product. This is going to be looking at the wind speeds relative to the radar, and we'll kind of focus in on the county line. And the signature is getting more noisy. It's more ill-defined, if you will. Let's look at the debris tracker, see if we can find a negative CC hole in this thing about right here. And at this point, the last time we looked, we didn't see much, and we don't see much right now. That's just a lot of noise. So at the moment, it looks like the tornado perhaps is lifted, but again, the warning has not been canceled. So until the warning is canceled, you stay sheltered. But we're about to give an all clear to everybody in Jefferson County in about 10 minutes. We can give an all clear to Center Point. We can give an all clear to Fultondale. We can give an all clear to Pawnee, areas back to the south and west. Tornadic circulation is moving into St. Clair County. So again, to the west, most of Jefferson County, the danger is over from this storm. But that broad circulation is about to cross into St. Clair County. This is the county line, Jefferson County here, St. Clair County here. This is Springville, US 11, Interstate 59. This is Argo. This is Margaret, which is right down through here. This is St. Clair Springs on Alabama Highway 23, which is between Springville and Asheville. You go up here to Asheville, Whitney Junction. So if you're in any of these places we talked about, you still want to be sheltered. I hope in a few minutes we can give you an all clear because, again, the signature is getting very noisy on this. It is not a well-defined tornadic signature like we had from 10:30 until about 11 o'clock tonight. I'd say for that 30-minute stretch, it was a very well-defined tornado that was lofting debris. It was down. And again, as soon as we get some damage reports, we'll be passing that along here. But it looks like there was clearly some damage along Interstate 65 Walker's Chapel Road, Fultondale, some of the neighborhoods east of Fultondale. But again, this is St. Clair County right in through here. So this is our danger. We're down to really 2 polygons, a very small one for the northeastern corner of Jefferson County. This includes Clay, but you can see the circulation is basically in the process of crossing over into St. Clair County. So in a matter of minutes, we can give Jefferson County an all clear. Again, Taylor's kind of suggesting where the greatest circulation is showing up now, it's around Argo. And again, it's pretty broad. This is not really a classic tornado signature at this point, but that could change in a matter of minutes. These, again, can be very cyclic. And this is producing torrents of rain in through here. There could be some flash flooding issues. There could be some small hail falling as well. But again, to get your bearing straight, that's Interstate 59 right here. This is US 231 that goes up to Aniana, down to Asheville, down to Pell City. And again, this is the rotation detector. This is one of the products coming off the radar system showing the greatest potential of rotation is sitting on the Jefferson-St. Clair County line, east of Clay, north of Argo. And again, that'll be coming out here probably a little bit north of Margaret and maybe south of Springville. So let's put the correlation coefficient back, and again, it's going to be labeled as a debris tracker. And the good news I have to report is the fact that basically that TDS has gone away for now, the tornado debris signature.
We do have a new report from Fultondale of multiple power lines down and structural damage throughout the city of Fultondale.
Right, and again, this is coming from the Weather Service in Birmingham. So again, reports of down lines and structural damage throughout Fultondale. And at the time, we had that TDS on the radar when it came through Fultondale. And I would imagine we have damage probably in Pawnee and over into Center Point. Now, we don't know that for sure, but based on the radar, it sure looks like we have. And that's a very densely populated part of the world here in Alabama. Jefferson County. So as we get additional reports from the news, we'll be passing that along. But again, our concern, it's warning you of these storms that are in progress right now. And there's just 2 severe storms in the state. This is the one with a tornado warning. We've got Pickens County with a severe thunderstorm warning. But again, we've got broad circulation. And again, that you can see that it might be trying to develop down to the south. Again, this is Margaret. Again, a lot of new neighborhoods here, beautiful school. A possible tornado is awfully close to the town of Margaret, which is here. This is in St. Clair County. But I will say now, we can give Jefferson County an all clear. So again, for everybody in Jefferson, all clear. Clay, Chalkville, Trussville, all clear. The concern now is exclusively into St. Clair County. So again, evidence of circulation right here that's going to be coming up pretty close to Margaret, south of Springville. And again, let's go back to the correlation coefficient product to see if we have any debris being lofted, and no, we don't at this point. So the best possible case here is that broad circulation is aloft, it's not down, and we're not having any debris showing up. So I would say at this point, most likely the circulation is aloft, but it really doesn't matter when it comes to what you do. You want to be sheltered in St. Clair. And again, Jefferson County, all clear. The warning for Jefferson has been canceled by the Weather Service in Birmingham. It's over. So the problem now is exclusively into St. Clair County. So again, Springville is right here, Interstate 59 coming up toward Asheville. Asheville is right here. Whitney Junction is right up here. That's US 11. We don't see debris being lofted, but let's go back to velocity. And the beauty, I mean, we could only dream of doing this years ago. It's amazing how far technology has come. But this is just really broad rotation in through here. It's just hard to find tight rotation within this storm at the moment. And if the trend continues, the Weather Service might let this warning, they might cancel the warning. It's a distinct possibility. But until they do that, you stay sheltered. So again, Springville, Asheville, St. Clair Springs, Margaret, you stay sheltered until we give you an all clear, which hopefully we can do fairly soon. So I want to go back to Pickens real quick, Taylor. I want to go to West Alabama. This is St. Clair County. You stay sheltered. We're going to come right back to this in just a second. In Pickens County, there's no tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that is for this thunderstorm cluster that could produce damaging straight-line winds and large hail. This is about to come through Carrollton. Carrollton right here, that's the county seat of Pickens County. That's Highway 17 coming south out of Reform. Gordo is right here, and this is your polygon. And again, notice it is a yellow polygon, not a red polygon. That means this is a severe thunderstorm warning until midnight. So again, potential for strong straight line winds. And of course, if that continues, that'll wind up in Tuscaloosa County. And clearly up here in the northwestern part of the county, you might see some small hail as well up here above Brownville, back up toward the Fayette County line in Newtonville. So let's go back to St. Clair County. It is now 11:13. I'm James Spann with Taylor Serralo working a severe weather situation tonight. And this warning for Jefferson has been canceled. So Jefferson County, all clear. St. Clair County, this is the concern. And again, you can see the polygon goes as far northeast as Asheville, Whitney Junction, Horsepins 40, and Chandler Mountain. We've got very broad circulation down and through here. This is not tight like you'd expect to see when there's a tornado down. But still, this could change. We're watching to see if this wants to cycle back up, and I think that's the right thing to do. Instead of canceling the warning, let's see if it cycles back up. But at the moment, that's not a classic tornado signature here. There could be some strong straight line winds and certainly tremendous amounts of rain. We'll check the correlation coefficient for debris being lofted, and it's not there. There's no evidence of that. So we have no debris being lofted. There's no evidence of a tornado. Let's go back to the reflectivity. And obviously, it's just pouring rain in through here, just absolutely pouring rain in through this part of St. Clair County. But still, if you're in this polygon, you respect the polygon and stay sheltered. And again, we advise no mobile homes, no cars, which means we certainly don't want people driving along Interstate 59. This is the new adjusted polygon, and the Weather Service keeps adjusting these to fit where they believe the greatest chance of rotation will be. And again, you can see that it's taken downtown Springville out of this, and the concern is really south of Springville. That's Highway 174 right here, runs from Odenville back up to Springville. And again, I just can't even pick out a spot to show you here. There's not a tornadic signature at the moment. We'll see if one redevelops, but still stay sheltered. Folks with a Springville mailing address are probably just south of downtown Springville down here. Same thing for Margaret, although most likely the greatest danger is east of Margaret at this point. And certainly those of you in Asheville and Shoal Creek Valley, which is located right down through here. This is US 231 that goes down to Wattsville and Pell City. This is 411 that goes down to Odenville and Branchville. So again, at the moment, here at 11:15, 11:16 now, we have very broad rotation over St. Clair County, but we don't have a tornado signature to show you. The Weather Service is going to maintain that tornado warning for a little bit longer to see if a tornado circulation redevelops, which might happen. This storm apparently has caused significant damage in parts of northern Jefferson County, specifically around Fultondale. Beyond that, I don't know what's happened in Center Point or Huffman or Clay or Chalkville. I don't have that information at this point. And again, our folks in the news department are working to get information. Again, reports from Fultondale, we have damage around Walker Chapel Road, Indian Valley Road, Carson Road, unknown injuries at this point. That's from the police chief and Carol Robinson with AL.com, who's reporting tonight. So again, there has been significant damage with this storm north of Birmingham and northern Jefferson. But again, there is no tornado signature in through here at this point. That is just a lot of rain. It's windy. We have thunder. We have lightning. But no tornadic signature, no debris being lofted at this point for St. Clair County. The air is a little more stable over here. We had kind of a wedge today affecting places like Gadsden. Gadsden stayed in the 50s much of the day, while parts of West Alabama flirted with 80 today. So as this continues pushing northeast, it will encounter a more stable air mass, and most likely the odds of this dropping another tornado are decreasing with time, and especially as the storm moves on to the east. And again, Calhoun County is not in the tornado watch because conditions really don't favor tornadoes there. But still, we're going to keep an eye on this. And this is the reason we're here on TV at 11:17 is for this one tornado warning that is currently in effect for St. Clair County, the northern part, okay? Listen, if you're in Pell City, this has nothing to do with you. You're not even close to this. You might have thunder and lightning and wind and rain, but in terms of a tornado threat, no. Again, Pell City is way down here. This is US 231 going south. Odenville and Branchville, Moody, you're not in this, okay? This is all north of 411 up until the time it gets to about Asheville. Asheville High School sits right here. The St. Clair County Courthouse. They have two courthouses in St. Clair County, one in Asheville, one in Pell City. The northern courthouse in Asheville, right in the middle of downtown here. This is 411 coming up toward Gadsden. And again, that's 231 coming up toward Whitney Junction, which is right here. And then Horsepins 40 is up on the mountains. So, Taylor, any additional reports from your end in terms of damage that you're seeing?
Not that I'm seeing so far, but I feel that we will start to get some more coming in, especially just based on that debris signature that we saw.
Let me just say I got a good report. Family in Pilgrim's Rest in Clay, and they're safe. They were not safe in 2012. They were hit. That's great news. So I've not heard specifically of reports of damage from Chalkville, Clay, Argo, that far northeastern end of Jefferson County. The damage reports all coming out of Fultondale. And that thing looked nasty. We saw the debris being lofted, and it came from Fultondale over toward Pawnee, the Pinson Valley Parkway, and then into Center Point. But we've heard of no specific damage over there at this point. So again, if you're just joining us here, it's 11:20. I'm James Spann with Taylor Serralo, and many of you are watching on your phone. However you're watching, we're glad you're here. And again, remember, when we're on television, all of our energy is focused right here. So we thank you for joining us and for watching this tonight. Want to go back to a big map with a tornado watch, because I want to show a big picture. A lot of people are asking, Taylor, can I go to bed now? Is the severe weather threat over? So I want to show you who is out of the severe weather risk, okay? We're going to pop the tornado watch on the display here, and there's your cold front. You can pick it out right there, but a number of counties have been cleared from the tornado watch, and you can see that we have Lamar, Marion, Winston, Franklin, Lawrence, Colbert, Lauderdale, Morgan, Limestone. The severe weather risk has ended for you. The risk continues in the counties here in yellow, the tornado watch in effect until 1 a.m. The surface cold front is located right here. These storms are on the front, and you can see we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Pickens County for the possibility of damaging straight line winds and maybe some hail with that storm that is moving into Tuscaloosa. But other than that, there are no warnings on the western side of the state. The reason we are on TV, it's this thing right here. This storm came across northern Jefferson. The warning was issued at about 10:35 tonight. And right as the newscast was ending, so that's when the warning was posted by the Weather Service in Birmingham. And soon after that, we saw the debris being lofted. We've had damage in Fultondale, in areas just north of downtown Birmingham. But again, that thunderstorm cluster is in St. Clair County. This is a flood advisory that's being posted by the Weather Service. The green polygon, that's not a flash flood warning, but a flood advisory for the possibility of flooding with the tremendous rain rates we're seeing in here. But let's go back into St. Clair County. Taylor, we're going to focus in on that storm. That's the only tornado warning we currently have in the state at this point. And again, we have reports now from Center Point Fire of structure damage in the 500 block of Sun Hill Road. So this is the first reports of damage I've seen from Center Point. This is coming from Center Point Fire.
And apparently we also just had a caller to our newsroom reporting structure damage and trees down in northeast Center Point as well. So we're starting to get those reports in.
Right, and that's it. It takes a while for us to get these reports because often cell service goes down and we just can't get them. But we know there's been damage in Fultondale. Now we know there's been damage in Center Point. And again, I've not seen any damage in Chalkville and Clay. The signature was not as fierce in Chalkville, Clay, northern Trussville as it was coming through Fultondale and Center Point in this case. But again, this is the current situation for St. Clair County. This is your tornado warning. The green polygon, that is an aerial flood advisory, but we're going to focus on this polygon right in through here. So let's go back to our velocity display and see what this looks like. And again, there's just not a tornado signature right here. Strong winds, yes. Straight line winds, a definite possibility here. But again, there's just nothing to show you in terms of a tornado signature. Let's look just for the fun of it at the correlation coefficient, debris tracker, and that's going to show nothing. So debris is not being lofted. We see no evidence of a tornado. And again, the Weather Service will make an option on whether to expire this early or not. The tornado warning for St. Clair is scheduled to expire anyway in 7 minutes. And they might just let it go based on the fact that this storm has had a history of producing very significant damage. So one way or the other, this thing will expire at 11:30. I doubt that they extend it because there's no reason to do that. There's nothing happening right now. And again, the good news is this moves more to the east. Again, this is Etowah County. This is Calhoun County down here. The air is much more stable in through here. It was cooler today with a wedge, cold air damming. And that means most likely we're not going to have a major issue with severe weather up and through here. So let's go back to reflectivity. This is the debris tracker. That's the reflectivity. It's just pouring. And let's put lightning just for the fun of it on here. I know there's so much it's going to be hard to see what's underneath that. This is real-time lightning, and then you can see just almost constant lightning output here. This is Gadsden all the way down Interstate 59 to Asheville, down Interstate 59 to Springville. Odenville, you've got heavy rain falling. And understand, heavy rain falling doesn't mean there's a tornado. People say, well, it's horrible weather here. Well, we're focusing in on places where there's a tornado, something that can kill you. We have to focus in on that. You know, you're not going to melt in the rain here, although flash flooding could be a serious issue if you have a long duration rain event like this, but we think we won't have major flooding here. So let's go back to our velocity display, and really in a case like this, velocity is going to tell the story. We've got a report that a hotel in Fultondale has been evacuated because of a gas leak. And again, that's the kind of stuff that's going on in Fultondale. And again, as soon as we can get video back safely from a crew that's up there. And I did check our Fultondale Skycam earlier, Taylor. That is down, so we don't have that at our fingertips here. But again, this is your polygon, and there's no tornado here. And again, this is not a tornado signature down here, so this warning will expire in less than 5 minutes unless something dramatic happens here.
In our Skywatcher network, it sounds like there's a lot of damage in Fultondale.
Okay.
A lot of damage in Fultondale.
Yeah, John Talbot is probably one of the best scanner guys in the world here. I see Brian Falls is on here. Yeah, let me just kind of go through what John is saying. Centerpoint Fire reporting heavy damage off Sun Hill Road and Carson Road. They're doing a search and rescue now. We have to be really careful here. There's a lot of reports, and we're trying to give you credible reports. We have reports of collapsed houses on Newcastle Road, reports of a person trapped in a car. State troopers are staging with Fultondale Police off Walker's Chapel to assist. Other law enforcement agencies are coming in to assist as well. Tarrant and North Smithfield Fire on the way to assist Fultondale. Again, we're getting reports of multiple entrapments on Newcastle Road. So again, we've clearly had major damage in Fultondale. Heavy structural damage to several homes. We've got a report of a family trapped in a house because of a tree down. And I will say, Taylor, it sounds like we do have some injuries here. The extent of those beyond that, we just don't know at this point. And so again, it's 11:27, and we're kind of focusing on damage now. There's no tornado going on here. This warning is going to expire in less than 3 minutes. And the odds of additional warnings, I'd say, are fairly small. And there's a lot of images. We have to be really careful in what we show here, just to be sure that we don't want to show something that's not there. A lot of people, send things that just aren't true. But I tell you what I want to do, we're going to show some of this. And again, Taylor, I'm going to let you pick it up here for just a second while I...
Okay, and I'm going to take a look at the big picture again here, just so for folks who are tuning in, maybe you're hearing thunder and you're wondering what's going on. So we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Pickens County. So I'm going to zoom you down and show you where that is, because we do not believe that there is a tornado associated with that tornado warning for St. Clair at this time. We do have heavy rain, probably some gusty winds going on across parts of Pickens County near Gordo. But I want to take us a little bit farther northward, because parts of northern Tuscaloosa County seeing some very, very heavy rain at this point. Where you see that purple color there, that's indicating some very heavy rain, possibly some small hail with that as well. No severe thunderstorm warning for this storm at this point, but if you live in Samantha or Gorgas, you are definitely hearing lots of thunder. You can see lots of lightning with that storm as well. Heavy rain extends north and east from that across parts of Walker County, just south of Jasper along I-22. So near Parrish, Dora, Sipsey, we do have heavy rain, lots of lightning, and then that thunderstorm extends into southern Coleman County as well. So at this point, we do have 2 warnings on the board. Well, now just 1. So that warning for Pickens County was allowed to be expired because the storm in that area looked like it was weakening. We are expecting the tornado warning that you see flashing there for St. Clair County to expire in about 30 seconds, and we do not see a circulation indicating a tornado on the ground with that. So at this point, no warnings across our state, but we are watching some strong thunderstorms, and the strongest thunderstorm right now does appear to be, or at least the strongest part of this thunderstorm does appear to be in northern Tuscaloosa County. So that's north of the city of Tuscaloosa, just south of Barry in Fayette County, near Wyndham Springs. I don't think our Wyndham Springs camera is working right now, but definitely a lot of lightning going on in northern Tuscaloosa County. Some small hail possible, but at this point, yes, this is a strong thunderstorm. It's likely loud, but it is not severe limits at this point. So we're going to continue monitoring that. And you can see a lot of that lightning indicating, yes, probably some small hail. I actually want to put on our hail product here. And it is indicating that some hail is possibly falling in between Samantha and Wyndham Springs at this point, but not likely large enough to prompt a severe warning at this point. So I do want to zoom us back out, and we will just kind of go up and down that line, and we'll talk about where we do have thunderstorms happening at this point. You do see another polygon across the border in Mississippi. That's going to be south of Philadelphia. A lot of lightning with that thunderstorm. So that's going to be the next storm that we're probably watching as it moves in from Mississippi. But at this point, it is not into Alabama yet, and we will talk about it more when it does get into Alabama. Right now, we do have some rain falling in Aliceville, some strong thunderstorm activity in northern Tuscaloosa County, but I want to remind you we have no warnings in our state at this point. Moving into Walker County, we have widespread rain, lots of thunder, and then the good news is at this point we have seen things quiet down a bit. Northern Jefferson County, where there's likely cleanup going on. We've had those reports of lots of damage coming from Fultondale with that likely tornado that we just saw touch down within the last hour or so. So a little bit of break in the rain there for some of the cleanup effort, but this next round of rain will be moving into northern Jefferson County here pretty soon. So it's not going to be a long-lived break, but right now, not so much in the way of rainfall. Still raining very, very hard over St. Clair County, so very heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning, so you're hearing a lot of thunder, likely some gusty winds, but this storm as well is not at severe limits at this point. In Gadsden, we do have a lot of lightning, so let me see here if our Gadsden camera is working and we can show that.
The damage reports while we're talking here. And again, let's be really careful about, what we're seeing. A lot of what you see on social media is not from tonight. There's a lot of images floating around, and a lot of this stuff is just not happening tonight. And again, people mean well by sharing it, but we have to be really careful and understand some of what you see is not really happening. Some is. There's been major damage in Fultondale, I'll tell you that. And again, we have reports of people that have been injured, people that have been trapped in homes because of trees. We have reports of roofs off homes. We have reports of collapsed houses. There is major damage in the community of Fultondale. This is just north of downtown Birmingham. And again, for those that are listening over in the news department, as soon as you guys can get a live shot up there, please let me know and we'll take that. I would much rather take a live shot from our staff instead of a lot of these questionable images that we're seeing. Some of it might be legit, a lot of it is not. But again, at this point, it's 11:33, and let's make it perfectly clear, we have no warnings in effect now, no tornado warnings in effect, and we have no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. The bottom line is there are no warnings. Let's take the lightning data off because there's so much lightning. We're just going to show the radar. And again, in St. Clair County, we'll give you an all clear. All clear. Asheville, Springville, St. Clair Springs, Whitney Junction, you're good. And again, the rotation went away about 15 minutes ago. We've got heavy rain, thunder, lightning, gusty winds in through here. But again, for the moment, everything you see across the northern part of the state is under severe limits. So again, we have the biggest damage is concentrated around parts of Fultondale and Center Point. There's been structural damage, and apparently we've had injuries. Beyond that, I can't tell you more than that. And we're not in the business of reporting rumors here. Everything you see on the tweeter and the face bag is not necessarily all true. And you've got to be somewhat use discretion when it comes to reporting things here on television, and that's what we try and do. The truth is, Traylor and I, we're not trained in journalism, but we have to learn it, and you learn real quick that a lot of what you see is just not true. So again, we're going to report facts as we go through here and begin to see reports of damage coming in from tonight. So Taylor, I'll turn it back over to you and let you pick it up for a few minutes, and I'll be right back with more damage reports.
Okay. I'm going to, once again, for those of you who are tuning in, we came on the air over an hour ago with a tornado warning in northern Jefferson County, and so you hear us talking about those damage reports. And it does seem like at this point the worst of the damage is coming from Fultondale, but we're getting more and more reports. And I kind of want to take you on a tour of what's going on out there right now. You might be tuning in because it's raining really hard where you live, or you're hearing the thunder. At this point, we have no warnings across our state. We had a few warnings earlier, but now those have all been allowed to expire. So this is a loop over the last hour. I'm going to stop it here, and we're just going to kind of go along that line and look at what's going on right now. At this point, we do not have any thunderstorms that are severe of severe limit. So yes, it might be loud, certainly probably windy, heavy rain, but nothing at this point that we are concerned with in terms of severe weather. So south of Pickensville, we do have heavy rain falling near Aliceville. That stretches just south of Gordo into northwestern Tuscaloosa County. So if you live north of Coker, if you live in Buell, if you live in Brownville, we are seeing heavy rain there, likely lots of lightning as well. And then we do have indication of potentially some small hail falling through locations like Wyndham Springs, through Wiley, so along 69 there. And this, yes, is likely producing some gusty winds as well, but not severe limits. So we do not have a severe thunderstorm warning in Tuscaloosa County. And at this point, we aren't really seeing any indications of rotation. At this point, this looks like it is likely just some gusty winds and some hail. Moving a little bit farther northward, we do have heavy rain near Oakman, Cordova, Jasper, Good Springs. So very heavy rain there, likely some thunder, but nothing of severe limits at this point. And then stretching up into Coleman County along I-65, south of Dodge City, we have some heavy rain. And then I wanted to take you back to that storm with the history of producing a tornado. So at this point, we're still seeing heavy rain near Asheville, Ragland. That's moving over towards Ohatchee. That's south of Gadsden. And within the last few minutes here, I want to put that lightning data back on. We have seen quite a bit of lightning with these storms, but nothing severe at this time. That circulation has weakened. And as James has mentioned, we're dealing with cooler air, more stable air in northeastern Alabama. So we're not expecting a re-intensification as those storms do continue on an eastward track. So at this point, there is nothing severe in our state. I do want to take you across the border, though. There's another storm that we're keeping a close eye on. You see a lot of lightning there just south of Philadelphia in Mississippi. And so that's going to be our next storm that we're going to watch carefully. At this point, just a severe thunderstorm warning with that, but that will be crossing over into Sumter County within the next hour or so. And this entire line will keep moving southward through the overnight hours and into early tomorrow morning. And as that happens, the threat of severe weather is going to diminish. So as this front continues to move southward, you're going to start to see more and more counties whittled away from that tornado watch. We haven't showed that in a while, so I am going to put that back on here. Many counties still included in that tornado watch, which does last through 1 a.m. So I want to put that on here for us. and we can get an idea, because there are some counties in northwest Alabama that have been allowed to be dropped from that. So as we go toward the radar, reflectivity, you see quite a few of our counties here included in that. So basically, if you've seen the thunderstorms come through your area so far, then you are done. This line that we're dealing with right now is going to be the main line along that leading edge of the cold front, which is going to continue slowly moving southward overnight and into early tomorrow morning. We did have...
Let me interrupt, Taylor. I'm sorry. We've got a lot of major damage, and I want to focus on that. We don't have any warnings right now, so let me just... in this business, we have to kind of have a balance between dangerous weather and what's happened. All these storms are below severe limits, so I just want to mention some reports from the Fultondale fire chief. He says, we've been hit bad, multiple injuries, multiple houses, trees down everywhere, people are trapped. So again, this is from the Fultondale fire chief coming through our news department. We've been hit bad, multiple injuries, multiple houses, trees, and people trapped. And again, as soon as we get the live views up from the newsroom or from Fultondale, please let me know. We're going to take that live, and they should be up there right now. And so again, and again, I do believe that we've been seeing this, these images of the Hampton Inn up there near the Lowe's, and I believe that those images are legitimate. There are a lot of rescue vehicles headed toward that Hampton Inn off I-65. Vestavia is on the way now into Fultondale with heavy rescue equipment and technical assistance. So again, there's obviously a lot of issues here tonight in Fultondale in terms of damage. And again, we're going to stay here with you. We're not going anywhere, and we are efforting images here in just a second. Here's a report of insulation falling in Pinson from Fultondale, most likely. This is debris that was being lofted from Fultondale. The debris, this was insulation landing in Pinson, which is an example of what we have seen going on here tonight. And again, for those that have not seen it, I'll show this image here in just a second. So again, the bottom line is we've had major damage in Fultondale. That is the hardest hit area. We've also had reports of other significant damage. Can you take Wexo 5? I don't know, JD, thank you. Again, this is the image that a lot of people are seeing on social media tonight. We now have reason to believe that that is legitimate. That is the Hampton Inn in Fultondale. That's on Walker's Chapel Road up there by the Lowe's and the Chick-fil-A and the Whataburger. And beyond that, I don't know if we have any injuries in that structure. But again, when these images first came out, we just had to vet some of this and just be sure that it's legitimate. We have reason to believe that it is. There's just a lot of damage up and through there. So again, the greatest concern here in terms of damage tonight, it's coming from Fultondale, which is north of downtown Birmingham, over into the community of Pawnee, and then over into the city of Center Point. In that zone, that's where we had constant debris being lofted on radar tonight. And again, do we have a producer back in the back by any chance? Anybody in my ear? We do not at this point. All right, so, okay. And again, if you could just help guide me, because this is rapidly shifting into a situation where we're going from weather into news, and we're going to need as much support from the news department as we can. So again, this is the big picture with the radar tonight. It might be thundering and lightning. You've got windy conditions where you are, but there's no risk of a tornado at this moment. There are no tornado warnings. There's a tornado watch for the counties in yellow until 1 a.m. That's for about the next hour and 15 minutes. But again, that line of storms now through parts of Pickens, Tuscaloosa, Walker, Blount, St. Clair, Calhoun, Etowah counties. Tremendous amounts of rain, thunder, lightning, and gusty winds. But all throughout this, we have no evidence of a tornado at this point, and we have no evidence of damaging straight line winds, or large hail. That's the reason there are no warnings. Again, a lot of the really significant damage is right around Walker Chapel Road. Oddly enough, we have a sky cam there, but unfortunately it's down. Damage reported to the Hampton Inn. You saw that image. Damage reported there to Lowe's and to some of the other businesses. We have many reports of homes that have been damaged where there is actually some entrapment. And again, to give you the quote from the Fultondale fire chief, and this is the best way to tell you what he told us: we've been hit bad, there are multiple injuries, multiple houses have been damaged or destroyed, we have trees down everywhere and people trapped. So again, that's the situation in Fultondale, and again, that tornado came through Fultondale and then went out around Pawnee on Highway 79, the Pinson Valley Parkway, then crossed over into Center Point. And we've had some reports of damage in Center Point as well.
I can actually take us back if we want to follow that debris signature.
And again, let's go back to that Hampton Inn picture on WEX 05 if we can real quick. Again, that is what you have been seeing, and that is confirmed, that the roof has been blown off the structure, and there's obviously very significant damage at the Hampton Inn right there at Walker's Chapel Road in Fultondale. And again, you can see that there is major damage there. And this is just an example of some of the other things that are happening in Fultondale tonight. We've had reports another hotel in Fultondale evacuated because of a gas leak. Center Point Fire reporting structure damage on Sun Hill Road, and a lot of other damage reports coming in as well. Let's just leave that picture up for just a second. Yeah, we should have a live shot coming up here fairly soon from this. But again, the good news at this point, we don't have any severe weather in progress now. And for those that are watching in other parts of the country, Fultondale from the business district in downtown Birmingham is only about maybe 5 miles north of say, the BJCC. Legacy Arena, the Protected Life Stadium, Uptown, just 5 miles north of there. That's how close it is to downtown Birmingham. The tornado crossed over I-65. I've heard of no specific injuries on the highway. But again, we have many folks that are struggling right now. And again, we're going to stay with this, and as soon as we get the live shots up, we're going to take those. And if anybody in the back can assist me and let me know as soon as that's going to happen, that would be great. So Taylor, you take it for just a second.
Okay, and I was just going to go back for 1 minute here and show you what we were looking at. We keep talking about this debris signature. So you can see this was at 10:40 p.m. And at this point, we did not have a debris signature. But then you're going to start to see that blue show up just north of Fultondale, and that's where we did have that indication of ongoing tornado damage occurring. Lasted through about Center Point, and then that's when we lost that debris signature. At this point, we do not have any warnings or any tornado warnings, any severe thunderstorm warnings in our state. We do still have that tornado watch that lasts through 1 a.m. But at this point, we're just talking about heavy rain. We've got lots of lightning out there, thunder, likely some gusty winds at times, but nothing that is severe. So we're going to continue to monitor these storms as we move through the rest of the evening, because we do still have that severe threat through about 1 a.m. But at this point, there is nothing that is severe. So I do want to take you along that line. We will just kind of get an idea of where some of the heaviest rain is falling right now. And we are looking at some heavy rain about to move into the northern parts of downtown Tuscaloosa. So near Coker, we do have that heavy rain at this point, some gusty winds, and we're watching this line very carefully, because when we start to see some of those kinks in the line, that's where we could indicate the possibility of some rotation. At this point, I want to put on the velocity, not showing anything at this point too concerning, but we're going to continue to watch this line carefully, because it doesn't take much for us to see sometimes with these broken lines the possibility of some spin-up tornadoes. That's why we have that tornado watch through 1 a.m. At this point, we're not seeing the indication of that. Heavy rain falling over Aliceville. The heavy rain stretches through Tuscaloosa County. towards Walker County there near Dora, Sipsey Parish. We have that heavy rain.
I want to go to one picture real quick on WEX 05. I didn't mean to interrupt, Taylor. We're just going to try and show these. This is the Outback Steakhouse in Fultondale. And again, you can see there's major damage there. And again, this is all around Walker Chapel Road, which is the Interstate 65 exit right there. There's a Best Buy, there's a Chick-fil-A, Lowe's, the Hampton Inn. You saw the damage at the Hampton. So I just wanted to show that, Taylor. That is damage at the Outback Steakhouse in Fultondale. Back over to you.
Okay, and at this point we do have kind of a break in the rain over Fultondale, but this line of rain is going to continue moving southward, so I'd say within the next half hour or so that rain's going to pick back up. Nothing severe at this point, but we do have that rain moving back into Fultondale, so that is something to keep in mind as those cleanup efforts are going on here. We've got rain falling over Warrior near Hayden, so Blount County and Aniana. We've got some rain falling, some lightning as well, but nothing severe. And then we do have a mass of very heavy rain moving through parts of Calhoun County. This is going to be just north of Jacksonville, stretching back towards Ohatchee and into Ragland and St. Clair County. The heaviest rain right now south of the city of Gadsden. And at this point, as I keep saying, we don't have any ongoing warnings. We do have that tornado watch, so I want to show you where that is. So if you were still included in this watch, you want to make sure you are paying attention to the weather over the next couple of hours. Make sure you've got a way to get those warnings, as we do see that risk of a few strong to severe storms ongoing through about 1 a.m. And I do expect that the National Weather Service here will begin to drop some more counties from this watch as we see that line move farther southward. You can tell that they've already dropped Lamar, Marion, and Winston counties from this tornado watch, and other counties across northwest and north Alabama. So that trend will continue through the rest of the night. But at this point, there is still a threat for some severe weather in the next few hours as this line keeps moving southward. Outside of that watch, we do have some rain falling across parts of Coosa County, Tallapoosa County, Clay County. So you're hearing some rain at this point, but you are not included in that tornado watch. And at this point, you're just dealing with standard showers. The heavier thunderstorms stretch from Pickens County through Tuscaloosa County into Walker County, Blount County, Etowah, Calhoun, and starting to move into Cherokee County as well. I want to point out that there is a severe thunderstorm warning to our west, south of Philadelphia, really in between Philadelphia and Meridian in Mississippi. So this stronger thunderstorm will continue moving towards Sumter County here, and eventually, if it holds together, would move into Greene County, Hale County, potentially Tuscaloosa County. So we'll keep an eye on that. At this point, it's a severe thunderstorm. There's not a tornado warning associated with that, but that would be our next strong storm that could cross over the border into our state here pretty soon. So let's take a look at, I'm going to actually take us to the hour by hour here if I can, and kind of show you what you can expect through the rest of the evening. So right now you're taking a live look from our Children's of Alabama camera. And at this point, things are pretty quiet in downtown Birmingham, seeing a break from that rain. But as we look towards that hour by hour, there it is. This is what we're going to continue to see. The trend is going to be that front moves slowly across the state, and we're going to see that band of thunderstorms slowly move southeastward. So by about 3 a.m., that line is south of the city of Birmingham, stretching through Talladega County, Chilton County, Perry County, and this line will eventually be weakening in the early morning hours as it continues to move southeastward. And then tomorrow will begin cloudy and mild with temperatures likely still in the 60s. And then our severe threat will be done early tomorrow morning. By the time you're headed out to work or school, our severe threat is over. Really, our main concern is the next few hours here with that tornado watch lasting through about 1 a.m. Here is a look at, now we've updated that severe storm outlook, but this is a look at the timing. So if you live along the 5920 corridor, we are looking at anywhere from now through 3 a.m. for that potential of a strong to severe storm. And then south and east of that, anywhere from midnight through 5 a.m. We'll keep a close eye on it, but we do expect those storms to be weakening as they keep moving south and east. Here's the latest on that tornado watch. So all the counties there in yellow are where we have that watch. That does last through 1 a.m. And you can tell that many counties across Northwest and North Alabama have been dropped from that watch. As that main line comes through, your threat for severe weather will be going away. So here is the latest on the radar. We're on composite radar here. I want to go to reflectivity. There we go. And you can see, yes, we've got some reds out there. We've got quite a bit of heavy rain. And as I put the lightning on, a lot of lightning with these thunderstorms. So it's likely very loud. You're hearing a lot of thunder. But at this point, we do not have any warnings. We've got likely some gusty winds moving through Aliceville with the purples there. That could indicate some very small hail as well. And then this line's going to extend into Tuscaloosa County, into Coker, just north of downtown Tuscaloosa, some heavy rain. So if you are in the city of Tuscaloosa, you're likely seeing some lightning in the distance. And this line's going to slowly move southward. At this point, we're just looking at some heavy rain and some thunder. There's not a warning with this. Moving a little bit farther northward, we do have indication of some heavier rain falling into portions of Walker County and into West Jefferson County. You can see here that's going to be moving towards Oak Grove. It's going to be moving towards Toadvine Alliance here pretty soon. And it's in the city of West Jefferson at this point, heavy rain. And this keeps moving south and east. So eventually this batch here of heavy rain will move towards Fultondale, which is where we have seen a lot of those reports of damage from that tornado that we were tracking earlier in the evening. We've got rain falling over Warrior, over Kimberly, over Sayre. As we look a little bit farther northward, Blount County, much of Blount County dealing with rain at this point. If you live in Locust Fork, you're hearing some thunder, but nothing severe. Oneonta, you've got some rain as well. Moving towards St. Clair County, Asheville, you're seeing that rain. Steele, you've got heavy rain with some thunder. Walnut Grove, in Etowah County, we've got some thunder there as well. And then really a big batch of heavy rain stretching from Ohatchee up towards portions of Cherokee County. So if you live near Center, you've got that heavy rain as well. And then a lot of lightning near Hoax Bluff. But at this point, the storms are well behaved, and we are very thankful for that these storms at this point are not severe. We do hope this trend continues through the rest of the evening, but we do have, of course, that tornado watch, which lasts through 1 a.m. for the possibility that we do have another warning or two, either a severe thunderstorm warning. Can't rule out the possibility of a tornado warning with that tornado watch lasting through 1 a.m.
Taylor, it's 11:55. Let me pick it up here for just a second. Again, we are in a situation where we have no warnings in effect now. No warnings. We've got thunder, lightning, gusty winds, but storms are under classic severe limits. That is, we don't have large hail, we don't have damaging wind. There is a tornado watch until 1 a.m. for the counties in yellow. The concern, and the reason we're here, is for the damage that has occurred north of Birmingham tonight. Much of Fultondale with serious damage and injuries. We've had major damage in parts of Center Point tonight. I've not heard of that much damage from areas north and east of there, Clay, Chalkville, Argo, into St. Clair County. In fact, I've heard no damage at all in St. Clair County. So apparently the tornado lifted at some point around Center Point, or between Center Point maybe and Chalkville. And to our knowledge, there was no damage north and east of there. And it's obviously a very chaotic scene, and a lot of people are asking questions, and I wish I could give you answers, and quite frankly, nobody has the answers at this point. And again, I will tell you that homes have collapsed and people are trapped as we speak, and we have injuries. Could there be a fatality or two? Yes. I don't have specifics on that. I've got unconfirmed reports, but again, we're not in the business of passing along unconfirmed reports. We just have to tell you what we know that is valid. So again, in just a moment, we're going to be going live up to the northern part of the Birmingham Metro, Fultondale specifically, to take a live view of what's happened up there. You've seen some of the images that we've shown you tonight. And again, a lot of homes are damaged, and again, there's clearly been reports of damage. And let me just say this. The Fultondale fire chief says, stay out. Everybody out of Fultondale at this time. If you got no business there, don't be some bonehead. Drive in there to get your YouTube views or whatever. Please, let these first responders do what they're doing. They're doing a search and rescue right now. This is not a time to be making TikTok or YouTube videos. Just stay out. This is from the Fultondale Fire Chief. This is not me talking here. He wants everybody to stay out of Fultondale. If you've got no business up in Fultondale, you need to get out of there. And that is from the Fultondale Fire Chief. And I will tell you, okay, let's take it. All right, let's go live to Fultondale right now. So again, this is the Hampton Inn. And what's amazing at this particular point within that structure, I've heard of no injuries. Again, you are looking live at the Hampton Inn. This is a hotel that is at Walker Chapel Road near I-65. It's real close to the Lowe's, real close to the Whataburger, the Chick-fil-A. And again, this is what this tornado has done. We don't know the occupancy at this particular Hampton, how many people were staying there tonight. Again, we just don't know more. There's a lot of information we don't have at this point, but again, I have heard no reports of anybody being injured at that particular hotel. Again, you can hear in the background various first responders coming into this. But again, and I was probably too bold, but sometimes you just got to be bold. Please don't go up there, just out of respect for humanity, and let these folks do their job. Understand, we've got reports of people that are, there's entrapment right now. We have injuries. And what first responders are doing, they're basically doing triage, trying to find out, who's hurt the most, getting them to hospitals, transporting them. They do an unbelievably good job. Again, you can see some of the damage, obviously, with those water breaks within the building, with the water streaming down through here. This is going to be a significant tornado. We saw debris being lofted at one point to 15,000 feet from this storm. The tornado debris signature really started to flare about the time it hit this intersection, Walker Chapel Road, Interstate 65. Again, this is going to be very significant. What's the EF number? I don't know now. Quite frankly, that's not important. We'll find out tomorrow. The Weather Service will get a survey team in there tomorrow and do damage assessment, and we'll find out the rating of this tornado. But again, understand, it's not just this spot. That's the one thing I want to stress here. It's not just this particular spot. We have damage in many other parts of Fultondale. We have damage in parts of Center Point. And there's probably some damage in between these places that we don't even know about at this point. And again, I will tell you from looking back at the, and let me just say this, everybody at the Hampton has been accounted for. We're seeing reports of that. And so at this point, we're not aware of anybody injured there. But again, one of the big problems out on Newcastle Road, where we got a house collapse, multiple houses have been collapsed. And you've got some people that are trapped. Some of the reports are saying some of those that are trapped, they're vocal, but they have no way of getting them out. Oftentimes in an entrapment situation, you have to have heavy equipment to get the structures literally off people or get it where they can get out.
I did see reports where they're bringing in bobcats from other...
Right. They're bringing in that heavy equipment, which they desperately need. And again, I will tell you that I have seen multiple credible reports of at least one fatality tonight from this tornado. But again, some of the heaviest damage is on Newcastle Road, which is in the eastern part of Fultondale. Tarrant police trying to work their way in on North Pine Hill Road into Fultondale to get the people, and people are just crying for help. It is a very chaotic situation. This is a situation where a very significant tornado has come through the communities of Fultondale and Center Point north of Birmingham. The tornado warning was issued at right at 10:35. We were about to go off our 10 o'clock newscast, and at that very moment the warning was issued, and we stayed with it, and we watched that debris being lofted. And at night, it's so hard. We've learned through social science studies that really for people sometimes to take action, to believe us, they have to see video of a tornado. And quite frankly, with these rain-wrapped tornadoes at night, there is absolutely no way that's going to happen. And we're just hoping that a lot of people heard the warning and responded. One of the biggest problems that we've learned is that most people don't get warnings these days because of the siren mentality, the notion that you should hear some World War II air raid siren, which have never, ever been effective at reaching people inside a home. This is why we preach you've got to have a weather radio. You've got to have one in your house, in your business. And to back that up, you've got to have your smartphone with wireless emergency alerts and a good app and respond to those warnings, know where you're going. And we're hoping that a lot of people did hear the warning tonight and responded to the warning. But again, it's a case where clearly a lot of people have been hurt. And again, I'm afraid that we might have at least one fatality out and through here. Multiple agencies are coming in to assist Fultondale because there's so much damage here. Some more reports, and again, you're looking at a Hampton Inn. This is off Interstate 65 at Walker Chapel Road. And again, you can see you've got multiple police units, fire units on the scene. We understand that everybody at the hotel is accounted for. Everybody's been accounted for, and at this point, we've heard of no specific injuries at this point. And again, it looks like they're coming up on an O'Charlie's. We'll go back as soon as we can. We'll go right back to that. Nobody wants to see us. All they want to see is that. So again, as soon as we get that shot back, Hoover Police is sending assistance to Fultondale. We understand Tarrant is sending assistance. Many of the local agencies are sending in assistance to help Fultondale try and do search and rescue. This is a phase of search and rescue right now because people are entrapped and people are injured. State troopers are involved. The ALEA is involved. But it sure looks like some of the most significant damage is on Newcastle Road. Major structure damage, multiple entrapments, and people are, the first responders are in there right now trying to help these people and to get them out. And it sounds like a very challenging situation up and through there. Wow. I'm going to pull up a shot here. This is from John Brown. John, of course, is one of our legendary chasers, and John is out tonight. I want to show an image that John is showing here. This is, we can take an image on WEX 05, please. This is one of the businesses damaged in Fultondale. And again, hello, anybody back there in the back? We can take WEX. Okay, we'll fix that real quick. Thank you, JD. I just want to show some of these images to let you know what it's like. We can take that now. There we go. This is a business that is in Fultondale, and it's just been totally flattened. Apparently a towing company. I don't want to say the name of it because I'm not 100% sure that's the correct name, but again, this is what it looks like in Fultondale right now. And again, please, I hope that you heard our call from the Fultondale Fire Chief asking people to stay out. The best thing you can do is just to stay out of there. Please do not go in there to get pictures. Do not go in there to get video, to do a TikTok, to do any of this stuff. Don't be some knucklehead. And this is one of the biggest problems first responders have nowadays. It's these cowboys that want to come in there and, you know, get some YouTube views. Don't do that, please. Have some respect for these people that have lost their homes, that have lost everything, people that are injured up and through there. This is not the time to do that. Have we got our live shot back by any chance, or we lost that up there? Okay, if you can get that reestablished, need to take that just as soon as we can. Let's go back to the radar quickly. Just want to show you where we are.
I wanted to show Fultondale because
Okay,
we do have another line of thunderstorms that will be moving towards the Fultondale area pretty soon. Some light rain falling in northern Fultondale, but some heavier rain is on the way. At this point, there's nothing severe with this. We do have a lot of lightning with that, though, and likely you're going to hear some thunder, very heavy rain. So at this point, I know those crews are out there doing those cleanup efforts. We will start to see the rain pick up here within the next half hour or so in Fultondale. But once we make it through this next batch of rain, you will be done with the rain for the evening. This is going to be that main line that's going to move through. And then if you live north and west of where this line is, your severe threat is going down. So your severe threat is coming to an end. Let's take a look here too at where we have some of the heavier rain falling. That's moving from Pickens County into northern Greene County here. So also, we've got rain about to move into Romulus, moving through Buell, moving through Coker, moving through the city of Tuscaloosa, northern parts of the city of Tuscaloosa. It stretches towards Kellerman and then into Toadvine, Gilmore, Alliance, Oak Grove, with some what appears to potentially be some small hail falling near West Jefferson at this point, near Williamsburg, where you're seeing some of those bright purples. Near Flat Top is where we could see the potential for some small hail. But I want to reinforce at this point, we do not have any warnings out for our state. We do not have any severe thunderstorm warnings. We do not have any tornado warnings at this point. Just some thunderstorms with the possibility of producing some small hail or some gusty winds below severe limits. We do have rain falling across much of northern Jefferson County. Near Newcastle, it is raining at this point. Near Fieldstown, it is raining at this point. But the city of Fultondale, at least for the moment, you are still dry. We are starting to see some indications of potentially some hail falling here just to the south of Flat Top, and that will be moving across I-22 here pretty soon near Graysville. So where you're seeing the black colors there, that's indicating the possibility of some hail falling. And our hail detector is showing that as well. So where we have that pink blob right there, which I'm also going to take off this tornado watch in the background, the yellow color. There we go. Where we have that pink color, that's where we could see some hail falling at this point. So we are going to, okay, we do have a new tornado warning that was just issued for Calhoun, Cherokee, Cleburne. So this is going to be that same, likely that same cell that has continued on.
Let's go up. So again, if you're just joining us live here, we're going to be bouncing back between tornado coverage now of real-time weather and what's happened. We're going to have to focus on this new tornado warning that has just been issued. So again, this is a new tornado warning that has just been issued for parts of Calhoun, Cherokee, and Cleburne counties in northeast Alabama. The potential tornado is near Piedmont. Piedmont is located right here. And again, this is going to be at a fairly distant location from multiple radars, and this probably gives us our best view. So again, Piedmont is right there. My finger's on Piedmont. Possible tornadic circulation just west of Piedmont. And again, we're going to pop on the polygon here if we can in just a second. But the bottom line is, everybody in southern Cherokee, Goshen, back over to Spring Garden School, the town of Piedmont. This is all north of Jacksonville, by the way. This is extreme northern Calhoun County. This has nothing to do with Anniston. But again, there's your polygon. Piedmont, back up to Goshen, back over to Spring Garden. In the far northern part of Cleburne County, you got to be sheltered right now. We have a possible tornado, and again, this is not a classic tight circulation, but the Weather Service believes is a course of least regret. You better be sheltered. So again, the call to action right now is for Piedmont. You've got not much time here. If you're in Piedmont, go to a small room now, near the center, lowest floor, away from windows, helmets if you've got them. Okay, go to your shelter. We don't want anybody in cars or mobile homes. So again, this is a tornado warning in effect now for northern Calhoun, southern Cherokee, and parts of northern Cleburne counties in East Alabama. This does not include Anniston or Oxford or Jacksonville. It's all north of there. And again, the concern right here is Piedmont. That's the town of Piedmont. That's the possible tornadic circulation coming into town right now. Once that leaves Piedmont, that's going to be moving up into the far southeastern tip of Cherokee County. And again, this has nothing to do with Weiss Lake, nothing to do with Center or Leesburg or Cedar Bluff or Galesville. This is all far south of there, down here in this far southeastern tip of Cherokee County and the northern tip of Cleburne County as well. And again, there's the southern extent of your polygon right down and through here. So again, the concern, it's going to be from Nances Creek along Highway 9 right up into downtown Piedmont, then up to about Goshen, and then back over towards Spring Garden. These are places in southern Cherokee and northern Cleburne counties. Let's look at the correlation coefficient just to see if we have by chance any debris, and we don't at this point. So at this point, we're not seeing debris being lofted. I will say that we are at a great distance from all the radar sites here. We don't have a really good sampling of the lower levels. We can see this from the high top radar from Birmingham, from Atlanta, but the radar beam is probably 8, 9, 10,000 feet off the ground at this point. And again, this is not a really tight tornadic type circulation here, but based on the history of what has happened tonight, is a course of least regret. The Weather Service has gone ahead to post a tornado warning here. So again, this is the town of Piedmont right here, and that's the largest population center in the path of this possible tornado. So everybody in Piedmont needs to be sheltered right now. And then again, up into Cherokee County as far north as Goshen, over here to Spring Garden School, then down into Borden Springs in northern Cleburne County. And again, this has nothing to do with Heflin, nothing to do with Interstate 20. This is far, far north of Interstate 20. Anniston, Oxford, Heflin, no problems at all down there. This is extreme northern Calhoun. And again, we stress that even Jacksonville is not involved in this. This is north of Jacksonville. Again, that's Highway 21 right here. This is Highway 9 right here, coming up out of Jacksonville and down toward the White Plains. And there's Piedmont right there. So we've got a possible tornadic circulation basically right on top of Piedmont right now. So this is a tornado warning in effect for northern Calhoun County, extreme southern Cherokee, northern Cleburne. And again, in Cherokee County, Goshen back over to Spring Garden. In Cleburne County, Borden Springs. This is all north of Oak Level. This is north of Grantley, up in the northern part of Cleburne County. So again, that tornadic circulation is on top of Piedmont. Soon it's going to be moving really close to the county line here that separates these two counties. This is Cherokee County and this is Cleburne County right here, okay? So again, we are going to be kind of focusing on this, but at the same time, understand we've had major damage with major injuries, potential loss of life tonight north of Birmingham with a violent tornado that came through Fultondale and parts of Center Point. There has been some damage in Clay and Chalkville, but the damage does not seem as severe there as it is in Fultondale tonight. And again, we're going to be going to our news crews in just a second, but before we do anything, we have to be sure that you understand that if you are in Piedmont, do not get out of your safe place. You've got to stay sheltered. This won't take long. That circulation is going over Piedmont right now. So again, we have a tornadic circulation over Piedmont that will be moving to the east, very close to the Cleburne-Cherokee County line. If you're anywhere near that county line, really Spring Garden or south, or maybe north of Borden Springs in Cleburne County, just be aware of that. And we're starting to see some evidence of lowering here, these lowered values of the correlation coefficient that might be the first evidence of some debris that's being lofted here. And remember, at a great distance from the radar sites, we're not going to get a really good sampling of the lowest levels in through here. So again, we have a tornado warning in effect, and this is in effect until 12:45 this morning. It's 12:15 right now, so about 30 more minutes. And again, we'll watch to see if this correlates with debris that's being lofted. We'll watch for trends. If that continues to go negative, then that means it is not a hydrometeor. It's not hail. It's not a raindrop. It's not snowflake. It's something else. It's boards and bricks and glass and parts of buildings and things like that, okay? So if we can do a double box, what I would like to do in the back, JD, is to double box the live shot from Fultondale we have with me with the radar, because we have two issues we're dealing with. We have major, major tornado damage in Fultondale and parts of Center Point. We have many houses that have collapsed. We have many people that are trapped. We have many people that have been injured. We don't know the exact information. Nobody knows right now because first responders are doing a search and rescue. So we're going to double box me in one box with this so you can watch the current situation in northeast Alabama, and the other box so you can watch the damage situation that is north of Birmingham and Fultondale. So in just a second, you're going to go to a double box, and we'll do that. And I just wanted to show you what's happening in Fultondale as well. I can see it here, and there we go. Thank you. So again, on that one side of the screen, this is in Fultondale. This is a Hampton Inn that was hit by a violent tornado earlier tonight. We understand everybody is accounted for that was at the hotel. So at that particular spot, there was no injuries, but that is the type of damage we are seeing throughout Fultondale. But again, right here, we've got this lowered CC, which is potential for some debris that's right on top of Piedmont. This is an amazing product. If you watch the correlation coefficient with that tornado that produced the damage you're seeing in the other part of the screen, it's darn good. But again, that circulation is over the city of Piedmont, moving northeast. In about 5 minutes, we can give an all clear to Piedmont. The best possible case here, this thing is aloft. It's going aloft over the city and not touching down in the city, but we don't know that. Again, the radar beam is probably 8,000 feet off the ground at this point. And again, that will be moving right over here toward the Georgia state line. And again, these are some of the arrival times. I can't quite see those, but maybe you can see those at home. But these are communities in extreme southern Cherokee County and the far northern part of Cleburne County off to the east of the city of Piedmont and through here. So again, in just a mere moment, we can give a Highway 9 all clear. Not yet, But in about 5 minutes, we'll clear Highway 9 and points back to the west. And again, you can see, and again, I'm not totally sure that's debris being lofted. That's a little noisy, and that might not be. But it's just something we're watching here. So the tornado warning in effect for extreme northern Calhoun, northern Cleburne, southern Cherokee, in effect until 12:45 this morning. And again, we have the possibility of a tornado that's over Piedmont moving northeast. And again, I stress this has nothing to do with Anniston, Oxford, or Heflin. That's all way to the south. This has nothing to do with Center, Leesburg, Sand Rock, Cedar Bluff, Galesville. That's far to the north. This is for a small area here, northern Calhoun, southern Cherokee, and northern Cleburne. And again, Piedmont is right there where my finger is, and that's US 278 going over into Georgia. So that will be in Georgia here fairly soon. And again, in about 2 minutes, I'll give you an all clear for Piedmont and points west, Highway 9 and points west. Not yet, but in a couple of minutes, and we hope that there's nothing going on here. And again, we want you to take these warnings seriously because the double box shows you this is what's happened with these things tonight. It has been a really rough night for areas north of Birmingham, specifically Fultondale and the parts of Center Point, and then ultimately into parts of Clay and Chalkville. It has been a very, very rough night tonight. We do have a report now of one person trapped on the 3rd floor of that Hampton Inn. So again, we have a report, and again, these are all very credible. One report of one person trapped on the 3rd floor of the Hampton. Now, it might be power's out and they can't get to the stairs, or the elevators obviously aren't working in a situation like that. But we have so many other agencies that are stepping in to help Fultondale, coming from different parts of the county. But again, the one message that we're trying to give for everybody is to be sure that you don't go up there. And again, if we can put that, I'd like to keep the video if we can. Okay. What we're trying to do here, I want to let you see it here on television. You don't need to drive up there. The Fultondale fire chief says, don't come up here. You're going to totally interfere with everything we're trying to do. This is search and rescue. This is serious business. And so we're just going to stay with these live shots as long as we can. They're going to, I think, reestablish that in just a second. But anyway, this is our polygon. This is for East Alabama, Northeast Alabama. And to get your bearings straight, we have, and again, that's really not a tornadic signature, quite frankly. That is not. It looked a little better about 5 minutes ago, but now we can give an all clear. So Highway 9 is right here. Piedmont, you're clear. All clear. You're good. If you're in Piedmont, you can come out of your storm pit. You can come out of your safe place. Take your helmet off. You're good. So from Highway 9 back off to the west, all clear, including the town of Piedmont. The greatest concern now is going to be along Highway 278, which is this road right here coming out of Piedmont. That runs over into Georgia. And this is southern Cherokee, and again, places around Spring Garden, Borden Springs, Grantley, and northern Cleburne County. So if you're anywhere in this part of the state, you need to stay sheltered until the storm moves into Georgia, or this segment of the storm. And again, I'll be honest with you, that's not a tornado signature right here. It's really never looked that good. But again, the Weather Service believe, based on what this thing has done, that it's the right thing to do is to post a warning, and I certainly would agree with that. So again, for a few more minutes, we got a tornado warning. This is in effect until 12:45. And it is now 12:21. They'll probably expire that early as this thing moves over into Georgia. But again, we've heard of no damage from northern Calhoun, southern Cherokee, northern Cleburne so far. Maybe something's happened over there. If so, we just simply don't know about it. But again, that's a tornado warning that's in effect for extreme northeast Alabama. And again, as soon as we can get a double box reestablished with damage on one side and me on the other side. Looks to me
like that second line is coming through Fultondale at this point with the heavy
let's
rain.
go back to the reflectivity and let's just kind of get a wide view for everybody else. And again, we stress this is the only warning in effect. But yeah, this for first responders, this is just not good. We've got this is the cold front, and we're going to have some really heavy rain out here. Let's put the lightning on real quick. And if we can put the lightning counter on up here too. Yeah, there's a lot of lightning, 39 strikes here. What's the time frame on that, Taylor? Is it 5 minutes? I think it's 5 minutes. Anyway, recently there have been 30 strikes in this area. And again, some of the most significant damage was right up in through here. Again, Fultondale, Newcastle Road, back over toward Pawnee. This is Pinson Valley Parkway right here. And then back over into Center Point, which is right here. This is where we've got this major damage from a major tornado earlier tonight. And now we've got this non-severe, but still it's got lightning popping like crazy.
This is 10 minutes, by the way.
Okay, 10 minutes. Thank you. So, and that's the right thing to do. Our people need to be in their car. We don't want anybody outside. Listen, lightning is frightening. Lightning is a killer too, and you don't want to be outside during lightning. So for the first responders, you've got this new line of storms coming into this tornado damaged area in through here. This will not last especially long. That really heavy rain is probably going to last about 15 minutes, and then you go to light rain, and then you're done. And by the time we get to 1:30 a.m., it's all going to be over for, again, this northern part of Jefferson County. So I just wanted to point that out. As Taylor said, we've got a line of heavy storms, not severe, heavy storms coming into the tornado damaged area right now. That's the reason the live shots have gone down over there. If you're in Tuscaloosa, it's noisy. You got heavy rain coming in, but again, we stress there's nothing severe happening over here. Nothing severe at all. Let's go back to northeast Alabama, and again, the reason that we are here working weather at this point is this tornado warning in effect for the extreme northeastern part of the state. This is for northern Cleburne, southern Cherokee, and the far, far, far northeastern corner of Calhoun County. Again, Piedmont, we've given you an all clear. This thing rotated, the rotating part of the storm went right over the town of Piedmont. I've heard of no damage. Hopefully it stayed aloft. But again, this is the segment where there could be a small tornado within this rain area. So again, extreme northeastern Calhoun. This is for areas east of Piedmont, southern Cherokee, Spring Garden, and then down to Borden Springs in Cleburne County. This is all far north of Interstate 20. And let me just say one thing too. I've seen a lot of reports of people that said their phones did not sound, wireless emergency alerts for some reason. We say this over and over. The baseline, every Alabama home has to have a NOAA weather radio. It has nothing to do with a cell network, nothing. It is independent, and they work well, and they will wake you up, and you will know when there's a tornado warning. Every home has to have one. Every business has to have one. NOAA, N-O-A-A, weather radio. It's a function of the government, and they work well. The phone, that's a secondary way. Of course, if you're out and about, it's your primary way, but it's not always going to work. You've got multiple points of failure here. That's why you have to have two ways of hearing warnings. And obviously, sirens aren't going to work. You'll never hear those things in your house during a raging storm. So please consider getting a NOAA weather radio. I've been preaching this for 40 years, and I guess I'll have it on my tombstone. Get a weather radio. Read the blog. All kind of stuff's going to be on my tombstone. But please consider getting one. That is urgent, and you won't miss these. I'm afraid a lot of people didn't hear the warning, and that's why so many people have died over the years in these warnings. They don't hear the warnings. They don't know how to get them. They think they're going to hear a siren. So please consider that. But again, just very, very broad rotation. This is not really a tornado signature. I would not be shocked if the Weather Service expires this a little early. But technically, this warning continues in effect until 12:45 a.m. for the next 15, 20 minutes. But again, one way or the other, this will be in Georgia soon, so I think it's going to be canceled well before 12:45. So let's go back to the reflectivity and a big picture if we can. And again, this is going to show the big picture. And I'm getting reports of pea-sized hail with this in Gardendale. This is what you're going to see. Remember, to be severe, you've got to have 1-inch diameter hail or larger. That's the size of a quarter, or 58-mile-per-hour winds. And these storms don't feature that, but Tuscaloosa, just north of Birmingham, to Gadsden. This is in advance of a surface cold front right in through here. And again, you're going to have gusty winds, small hail, a lot of lightning, heavy rain, but they're just not severe. That's the reason we don't have any warnings in effect for Tuscaloosa or Jefferson or Etowah. The only warning in the state is this small tornado warning polygon. And again, quite frankly, that tornado signature has gone away. In one way or the other, that storm is about to cross over into Georgia in just a matter of minutes. But let's take a closer look at Birmingham. And again, just wanted to kind of show what the first responders are dealing with. And I want you to understand that we have a lot of people that are hurt and a lot of people that are trapped. We've got search and rescue going on here. And this is the last thing you want to see, but it happens sometimes. In a situation like this, we've got torrential rain falling now. Again, this is where the bulk of the tornado damage has been, right in through here. Okay, we got major damage, Walker Chapel Road, Interstate 65, then coming out here on Newcastle Road back over to Pinson Valley Parkway. So they're out here trying to do search and rescue, and now they're dealing with this, a line of heavy storms. Again, not severe, but there's a lot of lightning, and you just can't be out there with lightning. 47 strikes here in the last 10 minutes in this particular zone here. And this is about to come on through Birmingham. And again, we stress with these storms, it's not severe, but it's going to be loud and noisy. And with the tornado damage we have had tonight, we just want to give you some level of comfort that there is absolutely no indication of a tornado in through here. None whatsoever. Heavy rain, yep. Lightning, yes. Gusty winds, yes. Small hail, yes. All that. But again, damaging wind, no. Large hail, no. And that's the reason we have no warnings at this point. And again, I guess it's going to come right through Birmingham. Let's go down to Tuscaloosa real quick. And it's kind of the same situation down here. Of course, there's been no damage in Tuscaloosa.
We are showing a lot of lightning from our Children's of Alabama camera as well, looking north. Again,
same thing here. Heavy rain, thunder, lightning, small hail, gusty winds, not severe. Yeah, Taylor, take that Skycam real quick. You can talk about it.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. We've seen quite a few cloud-to-ground strikes within the last few minutes. So we are looking northward. We're looking over downtown Birmingham. This is going to be on top of the Children's of Alabama, our Children's of Alabama building here. But you can see pretty much constant lightning if you look carefully into the horizon. And there are times when this camera is completely lit up there with lightning, and that is going to be those thunderstorms we're just looking at. They are moving through the Fultondale area, and those are drifting slowly southward. So that is going to be impacting Birmingham here pretty soon. So we will see that rain pick up, but quite a few lightning strikes. And I've actually seen some reports on social media, just different people sending in videos and pictures of all the lightning that is out there right now. So there you go. You can see one of those flashes on that screen. Looks like we are losing our, kind of went out of focus there for a second, but you can get the general idea. Yes, a lot of lightning with these thunderstorms, a lot of thunder, loud, but at this point we are not looking at severe weather moving into downtown Birmingham. We will have to monitor these storms. We do still have that tornado watch that lasts through 1 a.m. I'm going to go back to the radar here and just kind of show you what exactly we were looking at there. So as I move that radar towards downtown Birmingham, you can see that line of heavy rain with all that lightning is just north of the city. Heaviest rain still falling over Fultondale, but it does look like hopefully here pretty soon that heaviest rain will move south of your area, and it'll bring with it that lightning, and eventually we will see improving conditions in the city of Fultondale here within the next half hour or so. We're getting a new radar scan in there. And you can see, yes, that rain continues to move southward. You're hearing some sounds. It's different notifications that I'm getting here on my computer. And we have a new notification that the tornado watch has been
They've canceled
expired.
the watch for a whole bunch of counties.
Yeah, wow.
Which makes sense. But pull up that watch box. Let's show Taylor the counties that have been cleared now. And again, the chance of additional severe weather is kind of fading pretty quick.
It might take a minute for it to come up on here.
I know for sure, yeah, in a minute you'll see some of these counties going away. And again, we stress the only warning we got is this. And again, there's no evidence of a tornado in here now. This is extreme northern Cleburne, southeastern Cherokee. It's just broad rotation about to move into Georgia. And that's the reason we've not been on it here for the last few minutes. And again, we're back to a double box now. We have reestablished video coming from Fultondale, and it's pouring rain. And again, this is coming from inside one of our news vehicles where they're safe. There's lightning, there's thunder, and it is a nightmare. They're doing search and rescue in this driving rain. People are still trapped in some houses out there. We know that. And again, it's just a bad situation. The weather will improve. They're dealing with this right here, is what you're seeing in the other box right there in Fultondale. And again, the weather will improve out there in the next 15 minutes or so, but it's just rough right now. It is a driving rain with thunder and lightning popping everywhere, and that's the reason everybody's back in their vehicles. But it's very, very, very rough up there. And again, we stress, and this is coming from multiple agencies. Just got a note from the EMA, Jefferson County EMA, asking people to please avoid Fultondale, please avoid Center Point. Don't go up there with your camera and, trying to get YouTube videos. Please don't do that. This is when the first responders need to do their work. And I'll just leave it at that. I mean, there's only so many times we can say that. Some people don't care, which is the sad state of society today. But please let them do their work and don't interfere by going up there trying to shoot TikTok videos, okay? And again, this line will be coming through Birmingham. And again, as it comes through Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, it's coming through Gadsden now. It's going to be loud. It's going to be noisy. You'll hear thunder. You'll have gusty winds. But again, we stress that at this point, there's nothing severe, and the warning has just been canceled for Calhoun, Cherokee, and Cleburne. So the tornado warning has been canceled. That's off the board. The counties that were cleared are Fayette, Pickens, and Walker. So the severe weather threat has ended for Pickens, Fayette, Walker, Cullman, Morgan, and then counties back to the north and west. The tornado watch has been canceled there. And these other counties, the watch goes until 1. I do not expect the Weather Service to extend that. The Storm Prediction Center is the risk of additional severe storms after 1. It's low, not 0, but fairly low. But again, that's your activity on the cold front coming through roughly along Interstate 59 right now. And again, we stress that tornado warning that was in effect for southern Cherokee, northern Cleburne, canceled. There's been nothing there for the last 15 minutes or so in terms of any danger. But this is just a big mess right in through here. And again, we have in the other box a crew in a news vehicle shooting out through the windshield, showing a Hampton Inn that was severely damaged by a violent tornado north of Birmingham and Fultondale. This is only about 5 miles north of downtown Birmingham. And this happened earlier tonight around 10:45, 11 o'clock. The warning was issued at 10:35. The lead time on this it depends on where you are in the path of the storms. For Fultondale, I say the lead time was probably 8 to 10 minutes, something like that. And that's often that's what best we can do is 8 to 10 minutes lead time. A tornado develops, you issue a warning, and it's doing damage when the time the warning is issued. So, but we'll go back and look. We'll know much more at the first light of day. We'll get the drone up. Tomorrow morning at the first light of day, we can see much more about what's happened. It is so hard to assess the damage in the middle of the night in a driving rainstorm, which is what we have out there right now. But again, you can see that line of storms stretching through parts of north central Alabama in advance of a cold front, and the severe weather risk has ended. Again, we stress for Cullman, Walker, Fayette, Pickens, Winston, Marion, Lamar, Franklin, Lawrence, Morgan, and counties back up toward the shoals, Madison, Huntsville, Athens, Moulton. You have no more risk of severe storms until 1 a.m. There's a tornado watch in effect here.
We actually have another new one. Hasn't populated on here yet. They did decide to extend it farther into Georgia and a little bit, let me see here on this picture.
Yeah, I see that.
Farther southward.
Till 6 a.m.
Till 6 a.m.
So again, we'll get this extension on the watch. That's surprising, but again, look, I'll say, considering what's happened here in the Birmingham Metro, I don't blame them. I mean, goodness, it has been rough here. We've had a very rough night just north of downtown Birmingham, and that's probably, a wise thing to do. I'd say the odds of additional severe weather in our state are fairly low as we go on here, but still, you got to watch these things. So. Here, you can see the counties that have just popped up on the screen. These are new counties under a new watch until 6 a.m. You've got Marengo and Perry, Chilton, Coosa, Talladega, Clay, Randolph, and Cleburne. These counties below that line, they have been added to the watch. Now, I don't think it's going to run until 6 a.m. They'll cancel it well before that. But again, this is a new watch, tornado watch, until 6 a.m. for parts of central Alabama back over into Georgia, over toward Atlanta. So if you are watching in places like Clanton, Jemison, Rockford, Ashland, Lineville, Mellow Valley, Roanoke, Heflin, Talladega, Sylacauga, Sycamore, You are now under a tornado watch until 6 a.m. as this line of storms approaches. So far, we have not had any severe weather reports, I'd say, in the last 30 minutes. And even with the tornado warning, that rotating part of the storm that came through Piedmont, we've heard of no specific reports of damage from that here in the last few minutes. But again, we stress the city of Tuscaloosa, the city of Birmingham, the city of Gadsden, you've got loud thunder, you've got lightning, you've got very heavy rain, and there could be some flooding issues here. These are very effective rain producers. The precipitable water values are very high for late January here. So there could be some temporary flooding issues as well. This is a look at the Skycam coming from Children's of Alabama. And again, Taylor, I would imagine we've got a light show going on here from time to time. But you know what? That's the rule. When you take this on the air, it never shows. And it's just,
That's right. That's what happened to me a minute ago.
Vivid lightning display. But again, you're looking at a Hampton Inn in Fultondale, and the weather is the rain rates have decreased up there now. As the rain continues to push south of Fultondale into downtown Birmingham, the weather is improving back there, which is a good thing. Fultondale is right here, so you can see the rain is pretty much over for them. It's ending right now. So the search and rescue operations can resume here, and that the storms have pushed on down to the south. The storms are basically coming right through downtown Birmingham, all the way from Bessemer, right up through Midfield, Inslee, Fairfield, Birmingham, Trussville, Roebuck, and then it's going to come on down through the southern suburbs here. And for a lot of you, you've had no severe weather at all tonight. You've had no rain at all tonight. And this might be the first time you've had rain tonight. And a lot of folks might be awakened by loud thunder and heavy rain with this stuff. But again, we stress at this moment, and again, I'm talking to you at 12:39 a.m., we have no evidence of any storm rotation. We have no evidence of any tornadoes. We have no evidence of damaging straight line winds. We have no evidence of large hail. That's the reason there are no warnings anywhere in the state at this point. And if you're just waking up and missed it, we had a very significant tornado come through northern Jefferson County. This happened around 10:45, 11 o'clock last night. And we have had, it's bad in Fultondale, and it's bad in parts of Center Point. And by bad, we're talking houses destroyed, people trapped, injuries, a potential fatality. We don't know a lot because it's a search and rescue operation at this point, and we won't know much until we get really from the first light of day tomorrow. But you can see from our crews that are on the scene that this is just one example of what's happened up there. This is a Hampton Inn that's right off Interstate 65 at Walker Chapel Road. Right by the Lowe's in Fultondale. And we had report of one person trapped on the third floor. Other than that, I've heard of no injuries, despite how bad that thing looks. And again, we are thankful for that, but I'm afraid that there are injuries in other parts of Fultondale tonight from this tornado. The tornado watch was issued for Jefferson County about 6 o'clock this evening. The warning was issued for North Jefferson at 10:35 this evening, about 10 minutes before the tornado got into Fultondale. And that's why we just hope that people had a way of hearing the warning. They heard the watch at 6 o'clock and they heard the warning before it happened. But we know a lot of people don't have a good way of hearing the warnings, and it's something we all have to work toward improving, all of us, is getting a weather radio in every home, getting a weather radio in every business, and just kind of, working on making it better. We've just got to do better about getting these warnings. It doesn't do any good if we know they're happening if you don't hear the warnings and you don't have a chance to respond. But anyway, we'll know much, and I don't know the EF number. A lot of questions about this. I have no idea. We won't know until tomorrow. We don't know by looking at that Hampton Inn. We start throwing out guesses, but that is not productive. What the Weather Service will send in a survey team tomorrow morning to look at all of the damage, and they will determine the EF scale number of the tornado and determine how long this was on the ground, its width, and all we need to know about the track. And of course, at the same time, at the first light of day, you get the drone up. We really start to see what's going on up here. So, but it's been a very, very, very difficult night for Fultondale and parts of Center Point. There's also been some damage over into parts of Center Point and Clay in the northeastern part of the county. Taylor, so let's go back over to you for a quick update over there. I'll step out of the way. We can leave the double box up if you want to.
Okay, yeah. So let's take a look at what's going on right now. So at this point, we've got thunderstorms. You're hearing thunder. You might have some gusty winds, some very, very heavy rain. But at this point, nothing severe. Within the last few minutes or so, we did have an extension in time and also in location placement of that tornado watch. So I do want to pop that on here and show you where exactly that is covering now. So if you live north and west of the city of Birmingham, so if you live north of 5920, we're starting to see more and more counties be dropped from that watch. So Pickens County no longer in the watch. Lamar, Fayette, Walker, Coleman, Marion, Winston. You're no longer in that tornado watch and your severe threat is over for the night. If you are dealing with thunderstorms right now, you can tell it's really a line that extends across central Alabama. So you are dealing with that cold front at this point. And once those thunderstorms move south of you, you're going to be done with that severe threat. So we're going to continue to see those counties dropped from north to south through the rest of the early morning hours. But at this point, for the counties in yellow, that's where we do have a tornado watch that lasts through 6 a.m. And we will likely continue to see those counties dropped sooner than that once you get done with that line of thunderstorms. But at this point, we do not have any severe warnings in central Alabama or North Alabama or in the state at all at this point. What we are dealing with is some strong thunderstorms. So yes, very heavy rain, gusty winds, lots of lightning. You can definitely see all the lightning on there. But at this point, we do not have any severe weather. Kind of want to take...
Taylor, let me do this. We're just going to kind of bounce back and forth. I want to take WEX 05 and show some images. These are going to be some of the damage images coming in from Pinson Valley Parkway, Alabama Highway 79. And again, you can see some very large, objects here were tossed about almost like toys. This is from, I want to say this is from Southeastern Freight. This is on Pinson Valley Parkway, Alabama Highway 79. And again, I'm going to go through and just try and show some of these images, Taylor. So back to you. We'll just kind of bounce back and forth as we go back from the damage back over to you.
Okay, sounds good. And let's go ahead too, and I'm going to take us down that line and we can kind of get a look at where it's raining right now. So for those of you who are hearing the rain, at this point we do have rain that's going to be moving into Greene County. It's going to be right along I-20. That stretches up into Tuscaloosa County, so very, very wet all along I-20 through Tuscaloosa County at this point. Heavy rain falling in downtown Tuscaloosa. That is also including Brooksdale, Brookwood, Kellerman. And this line extends into Jefferson County. Bessemer, you just saw some heavy rain move through, and you're going to be done with the heavy rain here pretty soon. This line is about to move into Vestavia Hills. So if you live in Vestavia Hills, you're likely feeling the winds pick up. You're likely hearing some thunder. That heavy rain will be moving into your area here pretty soon. Right now it is located over Homewood and moving through Mountain Brook as well, moving through Irondale. We are actually starting to see conditions improve as well over downtown Birmingham. We just have that heavy rain in the downtown area, but now it's starting to kind of move south. And we are also seeing conditions improve greatly in Fultondale. So the heaviest rain has moved south of Fultondale, and you could see an isolated shower or two through the rest of the evening. But in terms of the heavy rain and the threat of strong thunderstorms, you are done with that for the night. So this heavy band of thunderstorms does stretch through Irondale, into Trussville, into Argo. And the leading edge here about to move into Moody, so in St. Clair County, right along I-20. We've got some gusty winds, lots of lightning, very heavy rain. Springville, you're seeing some very heavy rain as well, right along I-59, stretching through St. Clair County. Blount County, you are almost done with that threat for severe weather. So the heaviest rain moving to your south at this point, moving into parts of St. Clair County. So I do expect you'll be allowed to be dropped from that watch here pretty soon. Moving northward into Gadsden, we have that heavy rain, Reese City. You're seeing that as well. And then this whole line itself is going to continue drifting slowly southward. Also, some of the same areas are dealing with repeated rounds of rain. I wanted to pop up on here. We do have an aerial flood advisory, which I've kind of left off the map here. For multiple counties, that's going to stretch through Pickens County, northern Tuscaloosa, parts of Fayette, Walker, northern Jefferson into Blount County, much of St. Clair County, and Etowah County. So aerial flood advisory means that, yes, you've seen some heavy rain within the last few hours. You could be dealing with some minor flooding issues. And we are seeing that rain continue in some of the same locations. So we are watching ongoing rain across parts of, see here, St. Clair County and Etowah County. At this point, let me put on this lightning here. We can talk about where some of the strongest thunderstorms are. Oops, there we go. And we've got a lot of lightning in St. Clair County, just to the south of Springville near Margaret. And looking like a little bit of a bowing feature there, which could indicate some strong winds. I'm going to put on the velocity here, and we're just going to take a quick look at that. Potential for some broad rotation with that, but nothing that is too concerning at this point with that storm. But we're going to keep watching it. I'm going to turn off those flood advisories and also the tornado watch, just so it's kind of easier to see what's going on out there. But a lot of lightning near Margaret and Branchville at this point. Let's take a look at the hour by hour. So I want to show you what you can expect for the rest of the night. So as we move forward, or I guess we're in the morning hours now, so the rest of the morning, we are going to keep those temperatures pretty mild. We're in the 60s at this point, and that's likely where we're going to stay into early tomorrow morning. So as I move the clock forward here, this is 3:30 a.m. At that point, that line likely extending through parts of Chilton County, Coosa County, Clay County, into Randolph County, and then it's going to slowly keep moving southward, ending up eventually in Tallapoosa County and moving south of our area. So we will eventually see that severe threat. Sorry, I've got lots of different sounds going off as we get different updates to watches across the area. But anyway, temperatures are going to be pretty mild tomorrow. We are going to keep the possibility of some rain along I-85, but elsewhere we're going to see a mostly cloudy sky. Winds are going to be pretty breezy, and then we should get a break in the rain through the second half of the day tomorrow. Let's go back to the radar. Let's take a look at what's going on right now. I'm going to zoom you out, give you the big picture if you are just tuning in. We are still tracking a line of strong thunderstorms, nothing severe at this point, but strong thunderstorms moving across central Alabama. The severe threat's over for north and northwest Alabama. If you are south of this line, you do still have the possibility for a severe warning or two, and we do have a tornado watch that lasts through 6 a.m. along into the south of that strong line of thunderstorms, which is really along I-59 at this point, 5920. South of that, we do have some patchy rain, so over parts of Chilton County, Coosa County, Tallapoosa County, some patchy light to moderate rain showers, but the heavier thunderstorms are going to be right along the leading edge of this cold front.
We want to go to some new video, Taylor. Let's roll that video from Bill Castle. And Bill is on Newcastle Road. And again, notice that fire truck is from Hoover. Multiple agencies have been sent in to assist with Fultondale because they are just simply overwhelmed. This is going to be in the Newcastle community. Newcastle Road is east of Fultondale, and we have had reports of homes that have been severely damaged. Some, in some cases, have collapsed. There have been reports of entrapment. There have been reports of injuries. And again, many of these people are apparently coming out of some of these heavily damaged homes. And this is still a phase this morning where there is a search and rescue operation in progress. Again, you can see that some of these units are from other municipalities in the Birmingham metro. Some of those fire trucks and rescue heavy machinery units are from Hoover coming into the Newcastle community, which again is east of Fultondale. This is the same tornado that came through Fultondale. This all happened this evening between about 10:45 and 11:30 in the northern part of Jefferson County. For those that are watching in other parts of the country, this is approximately 5 to 10 miles northeast of downtown Birmingham. Not far from the central business district at all. Obviously, there's widespread power outages in this part of Jefferson County because of the tornado. A squall came through, a very heavy rain squall, as you can see, with lightning. That interrupted the search and rescue operations for a while. But again, that is from Bill Castle. And again, Bill is located east of Fultondale on Newcastle Road. And the good news for the first responders, the rain is pretty much over where the tornado came through earlier tonight. But again, if you're just joining us here, it's let's kind of do a reset. It's 8 minutes before 1 a.m. I'm James Spann with Taylor Serrala. We've had a major tornado late last night through northern Jefferson County, north of downtown Birmingham. The hardest hit communities were Fultondale back over to Center Point. We have had injuries. We have had major structural damage. Beyond that, we simply don't know numbers. Until we get the first light of day, we won't be able to tell you everything that you need to know about that. But again, we have crews there. They'll be there throughout the night. We'll keep up with these videos here. But the line of storms along the cold front right now, they are all sub-severe, which means we have no warnings in effect, not a single warning anywhere in the state. Now understand, all of these storms you can see lined up now from near Gainesville, on the Tombigbee River up through Tuscaloosa, the southern suburbs of Birmingham, up to Gadsden. They're producing noisy thunder, a lot of lightning popping everywhere. You've got gusty winds, you've got some small hail, but we don't have classic severe storms here. And by classic, we mean winds of 58 miles per hour or greater, or hail 1 inch in diameter or larger. That's the definition of a severe storm. But they're noisy, and they're waking a lot of folks up. And again, you can see them lined up now from near Gainesville, again, to just south of Tuscaloosa, southern suburbs of Birmingham to Gadsden, dropping to the south. And in advance of that, the Storm Prediction Center has issued a tornado watch until 6 a.m., until between now and 6. And again, this will probably be canceled early as the storms weaken and move on down to the south. But you can see that watch is as far south as Perry, Chilton, Coosa, Clay, and Randolph counties. To the north, the risk of severe weather has ended for Blount, Cullman, Walker, Winston, Fayette, Pickens, Lamar, Marion, Franklin, Lawrence, Morgan. Counties north and west of there, the risk of severe weather is over. But to the south, for the counties in yellow, we have a tornado watch in effect until 6 a.m. and the counties will be cleared from north to south as this line of storms gradually progresses down to the south. We've had a few warnings tonight, really not that many for much of the night. These things were behaved, but we had a tornado that developed north of downtown Birmingham about 10:30 this evening, and it came up quick, and the warning was issued. It came through Fultondale, Newcastle, Center Point. There's been some damage in Clay and Chalkville, but nothing like the damage we saw back in 2012 from that January 23rd tornado, the pre-dawn tornado there. But there's been some damage there. The warnings were extended into St. Clair. We have heard of 0 damage in St. Clair County tonight. Maybe there's some we just don't know about, but we've heard of no damage in St. Clair County from that parent storm. Another tornado warning was issued around Piedmont, then back over into southern Cherokee and northern Cleburne. We've heard of no damage from that. That storm is into Georgia. And again, we stress at this point, we have absolutely no sign of a tornado, no sign of damaging straight line winds, no sign of very large hail at this point. So we have no warnings in effect, but still we'll be watching these storms carefully through the morning hours up until the time they just go away or get out of the territory. Taylor, so back over to you.
All right, and I want to do, let's do an hour by hour and kind of give folks an idea what you can expect through the rest of the evening. So as I move the clock forward here, you can see those temperatures. We are very mild. We've been in the warm sector all day long. Warm and humid, felt very spring-like. We saw highs in many locations in the 70s. Some spots got close to 80 degrees. And as we move through the rest of the evening, we keep those mild temperatures, and this band of thunderstorms will slowly keep moving southward. So let's move the clock forward here to about 3 a.m. At that point, we do expect this line to be south of the city of Birmingham, south of I-20 at that point. So the severe threat will mainly be confined south of I-20 here in the next few hours or so. So we can't rule out the possibility of a strong thunderstorm or two. We keep that tornado watch through 6 a.m. Moving on towards about 4 a.m., that line keeps moving southward. So Coosa County, Tallapoosa County, Randolph, Chambers counties, that's where we're going to likely see some of those thunderstorms at that point. And then by 6 a.m., as you are headed to work or school or getting up for work or school, at that point we do expect that severe threat to be done with.
Let me interrupt, Taylor. We've got the mayor of Fultondale on the line with us now. Mayor Holcomb, this is James Spann. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. A lot of people watching us are greatly concerned about your city. Tell us what's happened.
Yes, sir. It looked like we were main hit just north of Walker's Chopper Road, in between Walker's Chopper Road and Gardendale. Right now, our biggest issue is keeping people off the roads. We have Carson Road shut down, Newcastle Road shut down, and 65 northbound shut down. And we need to try to keep people out of the area to where we can get people in there to clear trees and stuff. We have minor injuries at this time. I've not heard of any fatalities or anything.
Mayor, again, we're watching live video coming in from Fultondale. Do you have any idea of how many people have been injured, an approximate number, because so many folks that have relatives there are greatly concerned? Any more specifics on the number of injuries?
Nothing specific. Just by listening to my reports I've been getting, approximately 20. And like I said, all of them has been reported minor injuries at this time. There are still people trapped in their houses that we are still trying to access at this time.
We can obviously some of the damage to some of these businesses and hotels off Walker Chapel Road. But tell me some of the hardest hit parts of town, Mayor Holcomb. What's some of the hardest hit parts of Fultondale?
It'd mainly be Carson Road, Newcastle Road, and the Darlene Estates area.
And I would assume that search and rescue operations are ongoing right now.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
And it looks like you've got some other fire departments and other rescue squads, some mutual assistance. How many other agencies have come in to help? Do you know?
Just by the ones I know of, we've got Gardendale, Birmingham, Hoover, Mount Brook, Tarrant, Centerpoint. Them's the ones that I know of at this time.
And again, a lot of people are watching and listening right now. So one more time, you know, they hear James Spann say this. That's James, but this is the mayor talking. So if you would, again, please just tell us what your request is in terms of people staying away.
Yes, we just request people to stay out of the area to where we can get vehicles down to clear the roads to where we can make access to the houses where people are trapped at.
Okay, Mayor Holcomb, thank you so much, and God bless you, and hope things go well overnight in the search and rescue. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's Mayor Larry Holcomb. He is the mayor of Fultondale, and I know it's a very hectic night for them. But, and again, he gave us some good news. He said he's heard of no fatalities, none. And he says approximately 20 injuries he knows of at this point. And of those 20 injuries, approximately 20 people that have been injured, they were not life-threatening or serious at this point, which is great news. But again, we stress it's still early in this search and rescue phase, and there's a lot of things we just don't know at this point. And again, once we get that first light of day, and the first light of day is 5-6 hours away, it's 1 a.m., and we really won't know a lot about the magnitude of the damage and the scope of what's happened up there. But again, all of this is happening in the community of Fultondale, back up Newcastle Road, Carson Road. Those two roads feed back over toward Pinson Valley Parkway. And then we've had damage in Centerpoint, but it just seems like the worst of the damage last night was in the community of Fultondale. And again, we thank our crew members that are up there getting us these live images. Again, you can see that that is some damage from a Hampton Inn if you're just joining us. And the only thing I saw was the fact that we had one report of a person trapped on the third floor. Probably they just couldn't get out because maybe they couldn't access the stairs, and certainly the elevators aren't working with a power out like that. But other than that, everybody was accounted for, which is great news. But to see that type of damage and to come out with no injuries at that spot, that is excellent, excellent news. But again, as Mayor Holcomb said, the request he has for you is to please stay away. Interstate 65 is a big mess. Interstate 65, of course, is the main north-south route headed out of Birmingham, which connects with Interstate 22 right there as well. And I know it's very inconvenient, but US 31 and I-65 both are just not working right now. So the object is just to please stay away and find an alternate route. We're getting a lot of questions about traffic, and it's a situation where you just might have to go to your Maps program on your phone or your Google phone or whatever, and just let the maps do the talking, because they're typically pretty good at real-time situations like this and can reroute you around that. But obviously Carson Road and Newcastle Road, US 31, I-65, Walker's Chapel Road, all of these roads in the vicinity of Fultondale, please stay away. Just please. I mean, you know, if you got to go shoot a video on your phone, go do it somewhere else. But please don't do it right there, because they need time to clear those roads and go to assist people that are needing help. And again, I've been watching the Skywatcher chat with all of our folks that are monitoring scanner traffic, and it's been a rough night up and through there. And again, we want to thank all of our Skywatchers for their help last night and this morning with the reports. But I'm just seeing so much damage, and you're obviously seeing it now live on your screen. But it's been awfully rough. So, yeah, and I will say, I'll just say this on a personal note. He sent this to me, a friend of mine that I work out with, the gym across the street from the TV station at Godspeed. He lost his home in Fultondale. And it was a situation where his name is Jason, and Jason and his family heard the warning. They got into their safe place, and the family's fine, but they lost their home. And this is, I mean, the house was just gone, and they were trapped for about 10 to 20 minutes, but they were rescued and they're okay. So that's a reminder that this stuff happens to real people at a real place at a real time. It's not always somebody else. So hopefully Jason will be back on his feet soon, and I'm just glad that they're okay. You know, when something like this happens, you're just simply glad to know that everybody's okay. Friends that you know that live in these places. So again, if you missed our interview with Mayor Holcomb from Fultondale, he said to his knowledge right now, and it's very early in the situation, there are about 20 injuries. None of them are life-threatening. Search and rescue operations are still underway, and please stay out. So Taylor, let's go back over to you.
Okay, and what I can say, some good news here, is it does appear that threat for any severe weather has come to an end in Fultondale. We've got some light rain around in northern Jefferson County, but other than that, heaviest rain has moved south of the city of Birmingham, and that leading edge there is starting to move into Shelby County at this point. So I do think pretty soon here, Jefferson County will be dropped from that tornado watch. Within the last couple of minutes, we did see Blount County drop from that tornado watch, so you are no longer under a tornado watch. And we will continue to see more and more counties drop from that as those storms move through. A lot of lightning just to the east of the city of Tuscaloosa in Tuscaloosa County near Brookwood. And this line of storms here is going to be moving into Coaling. But I do want to keep reminding you all that at this point we do not have any severe warnings across our state. We haven't had any severe warnings in quite some time as these storms continue to move southward. Some very heavy rain showing up over Greene County right along I-20. That's going to be approaching Utah, moving into Bolagie, moving towards Forkland here pretty soon. Potential for some small hail with this, but nothing of severe limit. So for severe thunderstorm warning, you need winds of 60 miles per hour, or you need hail of 1 inch or larger. And at this point, we're not seeing that with the thunderstorms that we do have moving across central Alabama. And let's move a little bit farther northward. So we continue to watch the possibility of some gusty winds moving through Leeds, through Moody. So a lot of heavy rain stretching back into St. Clair County. Asheville, you've got some heavy rain near you. But if you live in really the northern half of St. Clair County, your threat of severe weather will be coming to an end here pretty soon as these storms continue to move eastward and southward in the coming hours. Heavy rain with lightning over much of Etowah County, including Gadsden. And then we do have lots of lightning here just to the east of Center in Cherokee County into the south of Cedar Bluff. Right now, pretty dry in Jacksonville, but you will see that rain pick up in the next half hour or so as that line of thunderstorms moves towards you. A pocket of heavy rain there over Oxford and Anniston and along I-20. And as we look south of this line, we are seeing the development of a few just scattered rain showers in Chilton County, Coosa County, Tallapoosa County. But at this point, we're not really concerned with those. Our main threat comes along the leading edge of that cold front that is at this point right along 5920. The 5920 corridor is where we have that line of strong thunderstorms. And then north and west of the city of Birmingham is where we have those improving conditions. So let's take a closer look here at this storm north of Utah, so in Greene County, because we do have quite a bit of lightning with that, some purple showing up. I'm going to do some investigating. Let's see if we have some hail potentially falling with this. I'm going to put on our hail product here. At this point, not showing anything on our hail detector, so that kind of gives us the idea that this is mainly just very, very heavy rain. So we've been seeing ongoing heavy rain with a lot of these thunderstorms. There have been really big rainmakers. And I did want to show you the aerial flood advisory. So we have an aerial flood advisory, which I haven't really shown on the map much, that does cover parts of Pickens County, northern Tuscaloosa County, southern Fayette County, much of Walker County, and northern Jefferson County, parts of Blount County, and also into St. Clair and Etowah County. So where we have those green boxes there, that's where we've seen some heavy rainfall within the last couple of hours. So minor flooding issues. Really, if you don't have to be out on the roadways tonight, good idea not to be. We've got heavy rain falling in many locations. So if you don't have to go out, stay indoors until tomorrow, because the weather conditions will be improving by sunrise. The tornado watch will come to an end by 6 a.m. as the sun is coming up early tomorrow morning. At this point, we're going to take a look at the regional view, and I kind of want to show you what's going on to our west. So right now, even in Mississippi, there is only one severe thunderstorm warning, and that is south of the city of Jackson. So that's really in southwest Mississippi. And then other than that, we do have one more severe thunderstorm warning north of the city of Atlanta. No warnings in our area at this point. At this point, thunderstorms are fairly well behaved, but we're going to keep monitoring them over the next few hours as they continue on through about 6 a.m. with that potential for an isolated brief spin-up tornado. And if you are just tuning in, we did have a tornado that impacted parts of Jefferson County. The city of Fultondale is where we have reports of damage, structural damage, and people trapped in their homes destroyed. So we're getting a more clear picture, and we'll have a clearer picture tomorrow as the sun comes up on what exactly happened in Fultondale. But at this point, it does appear that we had a fairly strong tornado touch down near Fultondale. At this point, nothing severe. I would not be surprised if once these thunderstorms move out of Jefferson County, see Jefferson County dropped from that watch here pretty soon. Not really getting any more reports of anything in terms of hail going on at this point or falling in with any of these thunderstorms. So most of these just loud with heavy rain and potentially some gusty winds as well. I'm going to take off those flood advisories again because those kind of make it look a lot going on the map here with that going on. And I'll take off the lightning as well. I'll give you an hour by hour. So let's take a look at it hour by hour, so you can have an idea of what you can expect. So if you're waking up right now because it's loud out there, there's thunder out there. Right now, no severe warnings. And we are expecting conditions to improve north and west of the city of Birmingham through the rest of the evening. And then this line, which is really along 5920 at this point, this model doing a pretty good job showing where exactly that line is right now. So it's initializing very well. It does show that line continuing to slowly move southeastward. By about 3 a.m., likely we will have thunderstorms stretching from Perry County through Chilton into Coosa, Clay, Cleburne. By about 5 a.m., that line does extend through Autauga, Elmore, Tallapoosa, Chambers County. But notice much of central Alabama, your threat for severe weather completely done at that point. Temperatures will be in the 50s. We will have a cloudy sky, but most folks will be drying out early tomorrow morning. So as you are headed to work or to school, the roads will still be wet from some of the heavy rain we saw overnight, but no active rain falling at that point. And we are dry through much of the day tomorrow. That front is going to move southward. It's going to stall to our south. And then as we move into Wednesday, we see that front lift back northward, and we bring back the chance of rain late tomorrow evening into Wednesday. So this is early on Wednesday morning, rain around, but we're not expecting severe weather with that system that moves through on Wednesday. After Wednesday, we're going to clear things out. We're going to see the sunshine, but things are going to get much cooler. So Thursday, Friday morning, we are looking at temperatures below freezing. So we're going to drop back below average for this time of year. Of course, today was a very, very mild day. We saw temperatures in many locations in the 70s. Some locations in West Alabama were close to 80 degrees. So very warm, humid air in place at this point. And if you step outside right now, don't recommend it because we do have thunderstorms going on. We are still very, very mild. Temperatures at this point are still close to 70, at 70 in some locations. I mean, look at Anniston, 71 degrees.
Taylor, let me interrupt for just a second. We've got Byron Khalil, who is live with us now in Fultondale. Byron, tell us exactly what's happened up there. Where are you and what do you have?
Well, James, we're just off of Walker Chapel Road in Fultondale. You can see behind me this Hampton hotel has been severely damaged by this storm here. It appears as if most of the people, though, that are still around appear to be the media. From what I've been able to understand, most of the hotel guests have been moved and gone to other places. But just looking at this hotel, you know, the damage is from the top down. You can still see first responders are still out here on the scene, appearing to be assessing some of the damage. I heard the mayor of Fultondale talking a little bit earlier about how they need people to stay off of the road right now. It's going to be very important to have these roads clear so that these first responders can move up and down. I've been at this scene for at least an hour or so, and I have seen fire trucks and police vehicles up and down this road, Walker Chapel Road. But just looking at this hotel right now, you could just see how powerful this storm was. It literally ripped part of the roof off of this building. And as I mentioned, some of the people around here, there may be some of the hotel guests, but from what I understand, most of those people have since moved to other areas. I actually spoke with the general manager of this hotel, as she has been here working very hard, trying to make sure all of the guests are accounted for and have somewhere to go. There was a moment where the rain was just pouring down. In fact, people who may have been watching this may have seen that video feed from inside of our news vehicle when that rain was coming down really hard. And at that moment, most of these hotel guests actually had to scramble and find a place to go. Some of the first responders actually allowed them inside of their vehicles just to take cover from that heavy rainfall, because we also saw lightning during that time period. But we're going to stay out here on this scene. We're working to get more information from firefighters. From what we understand, they do have a command post set up for us to gather some more information from them. But we will stay here right now and see what we can find out about this scene. Back to you, James.
Hey, Byron, a couple of questions. Next door to that hotel, you've got the Lowe's and you've got the Outback Steakhouse. Have you seen any other damage in those adjacent businesses to that hotel?
I haven't noticed any other damage on this side of the hotel. I haven't gotten a chance to go on the back end, but you can see this old Charlie's building right here. It appears for the most part to be intact, which you may find strange, seeing as though right next to it the hotel has been damaged as badly as it is. But from what I can see from this side of the old Charlie's and the other side, it appears that the hotel is the only building in this vicinity that has been damaged, at least this badly from what I can see.
Okay, Byron, thank you so much, and thanks for your work tonight, getting out there under less than ideal conditions. Your work is appreciated, so thank you for your live images and your reporting. That's Byron Khalil, who is out in Fultondale. He's just off Interstate 65 at the Hampton Inn, which is on Walker Chapel Road. And again, we know there has been some damage to that Outback Steakhouse. We also saw some images earlier. And again, from that spot, north and east, there's a lot of damage, especially out Carson Road, out Newcastle Road, and those roads connect with Pinson Valley Parkway, Alabama 79. And we are, in a few moments, I hope to be speaking with the mayor of Center Point to discuss that situation, Mayor Scott. of Center Point. We hope to have him on the line with us in a couple of minutes because the next big population center past Fultondale is Center Point. And Center Point had to endure a horrible EF3 tornado on the 23rd of January 2012. And that was a pre-dawn tornado, and we know there's been some damage in Center Point, but we don't know that much about Center Point. So again, hopefully we can speak with Bobby Scott. Wanted to pass along a note from the Jefferson County Emergency Management Agency, and I'm just quoting straight off their Twitter feed. Please, and that's capitalized, stay out of the Fultondale area. This includes, but is not limited to Carson Road, Black Creek Road, Pine Hill Road, and Newcastle Road. On top of road dangers like power lines and debris, traffic is clogging the roads. The first responders just can't do their job. So again, please stay out of the area. And that's coming from the Jefferson County EMA. We had the mayor of Fultondale on a little earlier this evening. He said the exact same thing. It was almost like an urgent plea. Just don't even think about coming up in through here tonight. Notice the Weather Service over in Peachtree City posting some tornado warnings for some of the areas just north and west of Atlanta, so their active weather continues there. But if you're just joining us, again, we are in a situation where we have a tornado watch for these counties in yellow here until 6 a.m. 6 a.m. And we have not had any active warnings now for the past 30 minutes or so. And again, that's encouraging news. But we're still going to watch these things carefully here. Wow. Hang on just one second. I'm going to show an image. And oftentimes in a situation like this, the best thing we can do is just show images to let people know what's been going on out here and the fact that this has been a really, really, really rough ride for our friends out in Fultondale. If you can take WEX 05.
Oh, my goodness.
So let me just read this tweet. I got my wife and baby out of the bedroom about 10 minutes before that happened. They are in Darlene Estates in Fultondale. Thank you, Weather Radio. They've got a NOAA weather radio in their home. It sounded the alarm. They responded. They got into a safe place, and that thing could kill somebody. I mean, that's like a spear coming through in a tornado, and right there on top of that bed. So again, this was Darlene Estates in Fultondale earlier tonight, and again, they are very thankful for that weather radio, which we encourage everybody to have. Phones are fine, but that's the baseline, and we've just got to do a better job of reminding people that you've simply got to have one of these things. Okay, great. So let's go back to our live images from the Fultondale area. Let me bring in Mayor Bobby Scott of Center Point. Mayor Scott, this is James Spann. A lot of people are concerned about Center Point. If you would, please tell us what's happened in your community and give us an update on damage that you've sustained tonight.
Hi, Mr. Spann. We've had quite a bit of damage to our Sun Hill Road area. A lot of people would know it as Hilldale Baptist Church, now housing Victory City Birmingham Church. Looks like the roof was pretty much destroyed. The steeple was in the middle of the road. So we have a lot of cleanup to do in that area. And I couldn't tell what the damage looks like from the other side of the church because there were a lot of power lines and we were not permitted to go over on that side. But looks like we got a lot of work ahead of us.
So, Mayor, it sounds like in Center Point, the biggest damage is kind of on the northern end of your city. Is that correct?
Yes. Almost right back into Birmingham City where Jeff State Community College and everything is. That Hilldale Baptist Church ran right on the same road. So we got Hilldale and then some areas going up 5th Street Northwest, 4th Street Northwest. Very compact area, but quite a bit of damage. A lot of big trees down.
Yeah, I've been in that Hilldale Baptist building countless times over the years. That's a pretty big piece of property, and you know, if there's steeples in the road and they've had a lot of damage, that's obviously a very significant tornado. The other question, Mayor Scott, so many people are asking, do you know of anybody that's been injured in Center Point tonight?
I haven't had any confirmed reports of any injuries. We're working with the Center Point Fire Department right now to get any reports in that they may have come across, but as of right now, I don't have any.
That certainly is good news. And again, we're trying to, downstream from you down in Fultondale, they're trying to keep people out, and I would assume you have that same request, is for people to stay out of the damaged areas.
Yes, definitely. There's, especially in that area, there's a lot of planks in the road. There's a lot of nails in the road. Power lines are across the road and throughout the community. So unless you actually live in that community and have to go home through that way, we advise no one come out to sightsee, no one come out to survey damage unless that's your official capacity.
Do you know of any damage out on the parkway itself through the middle of town?
No damage on the parkway that I noticed. Maybe a power line down close to our Jefferson County multi-facility building. And I'm pretty sure Alabama Power is working on that as we speak. But no, I didn't notice any significant damage on the parkway when I drove up and down.
Great. Well, Mayor Scott, I know that you're busy. Thank you for your time and your leadership, and we hope that you get things squared away out there soon. I know it's been a rough night for you, but thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's Mayor Bobby Scott of Centerpoint, who's discussing the damage in his city, which is in the northeastern part of Jefferson County. And it seems like the tornado came through Fultondale, the northern and eastern part of Fultondale, and then cut up kind of through Carson Road, Newcastle Road, getting up into Sun Hill Road, not too far from Jeff State, clipping the northern part of Centerpoint, near the Centerpoint Birmingham city line, up at the old Hilldale Baptist Church campus. And again, Mayor Scott told us that there's significant damage there. There's also been businesses at Carson Road and Pine Hill Road destroyed, including a U-Haul facility, a service station, and a church there. And again, as we often say, on a night like this, a morning like this, we often will not know the extent of the injuries until we get the first light of day, the extent of the damage, the magnitude of this event. We will know by 5 or 6, 7 o'clock. We'll get the drone up. We can see everything, but at this point, it's still a search and rescue situation. And again, you're looking live. The live video you're seeing is coming from Fultondale, and we've had some video earlier from Bill Castle. Bill was up on Newcastle Road, which is northeast of Fultondale, showing a lot of people that were coming out of homes heavily damaged. And again, we've had multiple reports of entrapment this morning and late last night as well. And again, it's been a really, really rough night here. And again, if we can, go back to that WEX 05 shot real quick. Again, if you just missed this is pretty remarkable to me. Again, this is going to be, yeah, there we go. Thank you, JD. This was a home in Darlene Estates in Fultondale. And the gentleman that lives there wrote to me, he said, I got my wife and baby out of the bedroom 10 minutes before it happened. We talked about that, Taylor, 10-minute lead time. That's about the lead time on this warning for Fultondale. If you got that warning, you had 10 minutes to get to a safe place. And in reality, that's a lot of time. You can make that happen in 10 minutes. And they heard the warning, and they got into a safe place. And if they would have stayed in that bed, you can see what would have happened. Somebody could have easily lost their life with that object coming through that's basically like shrapnel in a tornado. Again, just a lot of people have lost their homes, and they've had their homes heavily damaged up and through there tonight. But again, he credits that weather radio, not a phone, not a siren, NOAA Weather Radio, NOAA. Everybody needs one. They don't work on a cell network. They're independent. They're very important. So as bad as it is to see that type of damage, it's great knowing that they're okay. All right, so we'll go back to the radar, and again, you can see we are watching Hale County right here, Greensboro, Sawyerville, Wedgeworth, Akron. That's Highway 60, that's Highway 69. This is Moundville, this is Tuscaloosa. Probably some hail falling here just to the west of Moundville. Probably some small hail about to cross Highway 69. And that'll be coming through the northern part of Hale County. And again, we stress we have no warnings in effect here tonight. We are here, often, we have storms. The storms weaken, tornado warnings go away. We just go back to programming. We've stayed with this tonight because of the magnitude of the damage north of Birmingham. And North Jefferson County. And that's the reason we're staying with this, because so many people have friends or relatives there, and it's really a big story. And we're going to stay with this for a while longer. But again, we've got the heavier thunderstorms now and rain falling from the northern tip of Bibb County, around the town of Bibbville, Caffey Junction, curving through southern Jefferson County and extreme northern Shelby County, southern part of Hoover, cutting back over here toward Inverness and Greystone, and then into St. Clair County. It's pouring rain at Pell City, Riverside, Logan Martin Lake. Heavy rain falling to the northeast as well. But with all of this, we see zero evidence of a tornado, zero evidence of damaging winds, no evidence of large hail. That's the reason we have no warnings. And again, technically, for areas along and south of this line, we have a tornado watch until 6 a.m. And we'll keep watching that. And again, I think what happened, the Storm Prediction Center, they're seeing what you're seeing. They watch us there. They watch local stations in areas that have severe weather, and they say, hey, we've had a high impact event, and maybe just as a course of least regret, we want to extend that watch, and they've done that until 6 a.m. So the watch is as far south now as Randolph, Clay, Coosa, Chilton, Perry, and Marengo. That's until 6 a.m. as this line of storms drops on down to the south. In theory, the storm should continue to weaken, and we really don't expect another tornado. But again, the chance of a tornado is not zero. I'll put it that way. So and people say, well, can I go to bed? Well, you can if you're in Blount, Cullman, Winston, Walker, Fayette, Pickens, Lamar, Marion. The tornado watch has been canceled there. It will be canceled for Tuscaloosa and Jefferson probably within the next 30 minutes. And the same thing for St. Clair and Etowah. The storms keep on dropping to the south. Just the main concern is for areas down here to the south where the storms will be moving on down to the south in time. So we'll keep watching those carefully. And again, the watch technically in effect until 6 a.m. Taylor, so let's go back over to you while I check some more damage reports.
All right, sounds good. Worth noting that we do have a tornado warning in Georgia, which is along the same line. So the same thunderstorms that, oh, sorry, I didn't know I was on air. The same thunderstorms that we saw moving through our area are now moving into Georgia as well and have prompted a tornado warning there. No warnings across our state at this point. So we do have that watch that lasts through 6 a.m., but we have no severe thunderstorms or no tornado warnings ongoing at this point. So right now, the strongest thunderstorm in central Alabama does appear to be over Hale County, moving through Moundville. I'm going to put on some lightning here. I suspect we have quite a bit of lightning with some of these, and that is correct. We do have quite a bit of lightning in your Akron, your Moundville. So in southern parts of Tuscaloosa County as well, likely a lot of lightning, thunder, heavy rain, potentially some gusty winds with this as well, but nothing that is of severe limits. A lot of lightning here near Lakeview, near Bessemer, near Bibbville, and we're seeing the heavy rain with this. Really not seeing any indication at this point of hail falling with this system, but we do have some heavy rain there as well with that thunder. For much of downtown Birmingham, Vestavia Hills, Hoover, Bessemer, Midfield, Fultondale, we've got some thunder, but we're talking moderate rainfall at this point. More of the same for Trussville. And then we've got this leading edge here moving through, about to move through Chelsea. It's moving down to 80, so moving through Inverness. It'll be moving into Westover and Harpersville pretty soon here, and into Calcis. Rain falling over Dunavant, rain falling in Leeds, rain falling, very heavy rain falling in Pell City, Cropwell, and Lincoln, with some lightning. A lot of lightning south of Ragland. So near Sulphur Springs, Ragland, we've got quite a bit of thunder happening at this point. So likely if you're waking up right now, it's loud out there, but we don't have anything severe at this point. And then we do see that heavier band of rain stretch into northern portions of Calhoun County, north of Jacksonville, Ohatchee. You see some heavy rain at this point, and then Weaver as well. Lightning, thunder, rain over Cherokee County. But at this point, these storms are being pretty well behaved for the most part. So, of course, we're going to continue to watch the trends as these move southward. But for us right now, our major event this evening has been that tornado that did touch down in northern Jefferson County for Fultondale. So near Fultondale is where we have some of the most widespread damage being reported at this point. And we'll have a better idea of the extent of the damage, what exactly happened, what exactly what am I trying to say here? What communities were impacted as the sun comes up and we have the light of day to kind of get that more clear picture. Let's do an hour by hour breakdown of what you can expect. So if you are just tuning in and you're wondering when this will all be over with, the tornado watch does last through 6 a.m. But I do think we are going to see that threat of severe weather diminish before 6 a.m. So this is what we're seeing right now. We've got that band of thunderstorms really right along I-20 at this point. It continues moving southward.
Hey, let me share a few pictures real quick, if we can, Taylor, again. And we need to go to Byron. I just wanted to show, this is my friend's home in Fultondale. There's nothing left. His home was destroyed. Jason wrote to tell me, again, they heard the warning and they got into their safe place, and the family is uninjured. And again, when I say destroyed, it's gone. All the pets died. But the family made it, and this is what people are dealing with in Fultondale. And I just wanted to show you one example, and trust me, it's not just them. It's a lot of folks. There's a lot of suffering out there. But I want to go back to Byron Khalil, who's got someone out there with him. Byron, you go ahead. Go.
Hey James, we're back here in Fultondale. Of course, we are continuing to learn more about some of this storm damage here. Joining me live right now is Ray Hendricks. He's from Gunnersville, but Mr. Hendricks, you were staying at a nearby hotel just off of this road here. Tell me, what did you notice as the storm was passing by?
We heard the tornado siren, of course, before it happened, and then it just got actually really quiet, and I got out of the bed to look out the window, and once I looked out the window was shaking and the wind was blowing, and I could see the garbage cans at the gas station next door blowing all over the place. And it got pretty bad, so I went to the bathroom and stayed in the bathroom until it seemed like it had calmed down. And once we come out, they had a pretty major gas leak over there, so they made us evacuate the hotel over there. And once I came out here, I noticed the hotel behind us, it switches across the street, and it was pretty severe damage to it, a lot of chaos, and happened real quick. A lot of roaring, as they say, it sounded like a train coming, but it was loud roaring. It was pretty scary.
I've noticed earlier there were quite a few hotel guests, hanging out in this parking lot. What did you notice where you and the other guests from the hotel you went? Where did they all go? Do you know?
A lot of them went to this hotel right over here by Target. I don't know the name of it, but they went there and to some of the hotels in Gardendale. But of course, by the time I checked for one, they're all full. So, but we're just going to ride it out. I'm just working down the road, and we'll start fresh in the morning.
Did you notice anyone who appeared to be injured from the storm?
No, I didn't. There was a lady that in our hotel, she was actually here for an appointment in the morning with her cardiologist, so she got pretty excited and was having some heart problems, but other than that, I didn't notice anybody, no sir.
Were you able to get all of your items outside of the room? I noticed you had...
Yes, we were able to get all of our stuff out. Like I said, the only damage they had was the awning came down, knocked the back door off and blocked the back door, but other than that, their damage was pretty minor. So everybody was able to get their stuff and get out and get somewhere safe before it started raining again.
What's your plan for the rest of this morning?
The rest of this morning, if the roads down this way were blocked, if they get them unblocked, I'm going to try to go home and then come back, probably late morning to start work back again.
All right, Mr. Hendricks, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, and as he mentioned, we're continuing to learn about this situation here in Fultondale. As you can see behind us, this hotel, at least one of them in this area have been severely damaged. We're working to get more information from first responders on any more injuries or other buildings that have been damaged in this area. Guys.
Thank you, Byron. We'll go back to the radar. I wanted to mention some school closings tomorrow because of the tornado damage. We have these schools will be I say tomorrow, today. These schools are closed today. Fultondale High School, Fultondale Elementary School, Centerpoint High School, Irwin Middle School, Irwin Intermediate School, Centerpoint Elementary, Clay Chalkville High School, Clay Chalkville Middle School, Bryant Park Elementary, Chalkville Elementary, and Clay Elementary. Again, you're seeing these up on your screen right now. These schools will be closed today because not necessarily of damage on the campus of these schools, but because of the damage in the communities. And there could be some damage at these schools. We just don't know that. I did hear one report of some damage at Fultondale High School. But again, you can see those schools are closed today in Jefferson County because of damage in the communities, power outages, road conditions. It's just a mess. And we pretty much knew that was going to be the case. No classes will be held for either traditional or remote students at these schools. All other Jefferson County schools will be open today, but those are the schools that are closed. And again, you'll probably get notification through the system that goes to all the parents. So it's 1:37 a.m. This is Tuesday, the 26th of January. I'm James Spann with Taylor Serralo. If you're just joining us, we've had a major tornado north of Birmingham through parts of Fultondale and Center Point. We know of at least 20 people injured, maybe more. We have heard of no life-threatening injuries. We've heard no official reports of fatalities at this point. However, there is still entrapment. There's still search and rescue operations underway right now, and there's been just really bad damage. I mean, really bad. You've seen some of the images here. You've seen that Hampton Inn. You've seen some of the homes that were destroyed. It's not good. So a lot of our neighbors will be needing our help in coming days to get back on their feet after this horrible tornado situation tonight. But I want to stress, as we speak early this morning, we have no active warnings in effect. Do you hear thunder? You bet. Is it raining heavily? Yes. Is it windy? Yes. Is there small hail? Yes. But these are not severe in the classic sense. You can see one segment from Tuscaloosa South curving down toward Wedgeworth and Hale County, another segment south of Birmingham, another segment in Calhoun County between East Teboga and Bynum and Jacksonville and Piedmont. But again, no evidence of a tornado anywhere here. We have no warnings in effect. There's a tornado watch in effect for the areas along and south of this line of storms until 6 a.m. And we'll still watch these. Understand, and in theory, these should continue to weaken slowly, and the odds of a tornado are relatively low, but not zero. And people say, well, I live in Clanton. Can I go to bed? Live in Centerville. I live in Ashland. You know, if you've got a weather radio, sure, because your weather radio is going to wake you up. But if you don't, you know, your phone, in theory, should wake you up. But sometimes cellular service is disrupted with storms. You all know that. And we want people to have two ways of hearing warnings. Two, not one, but two. And those two ways are a weather radio and your phone, not a siren. We've got to get away from the siren mentality. We've got to do that. If it takes me being bold and cranky, I'll just be bold and cranky, because we have to do better. We have to do better. We've got to do better with getting weather radios in all Alabama homes. Most Alabama homes don't have one. You probably don't. I'm not fussing at you, but I'm strongly suggesting you consider purchasing one. They cost $30. That's a big investment. I know that. But I'm telling you, they'll save your life one day. They really will. Weather radio. You can buy them in lots of places around here. They're easy to find. So again, we're watching this line of storms, and again, as you watch in the other live feed, that's our live feed coming from Fultondale at the Hampton. And again, I'll show you some more images. But Taylor, let's kick it back over to you. Maybe you got some Skycam shots for us or something over there.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Actually, I can pull it up from our Hoover camera, Galleria Tower camera, and it is almost constant lightning, or at least it has been over the last few minutes from this view. Of course, I'm pulling it up on TV, and now we're not seeing much. But at times we've seen lots of lightning on this camera. We're hearing the thunder here. There you go. That kind of gives you the scene out there. And we're hearing the thunder here at our station. Rain is picking up in this location. Let's try some of our other cameras here. I'm going to take this view here of our Grandview Medical Center camera. This is looking over 280 here. So this is on top of Grandview Medical Center. And at this view, wet streets, things are starting to calm down at this camera location. So at this point, our Galleria Tower camera has given us really kind of the best picture of what folks who are inside of these thunderstorms right now are dealing with. Very loud thunder, heavy rain, some gusty winds at times, but we don't have anything that is severe warned at this point. So we aren't looking at any severe thunderstorm warnings. We don't have any tornado warnings. across our state. So at this point, these storms are well behaved in terms of being severe, but yes, it's loud. I can hear the thunder. It's basically constant right now here at our station in Hoover. And I can hear the heavy rain as well on the roof. And over the rest of the night, we're going to continue to see more of the same. So I wanted to kind of put this radar view here in motion. So there's that line of thunderstorms. It is slowly moving southward. And as that happens, you kind of see those yellow boxes coming on and off. Well, as that line moves south of you, your tornado watch will be removed and your severe threat comes to an end. So really, it's for locations at this point, as I stop this here now, that are south of I-20. That is where we have that threat for the possibility of a few strong storms. There we go. Let's get that updated. Looking at the lightning, a lot of lightning with some of these, and especially as we're just looking at that Galleria Tower camera in Hoover, you can see all the lightning there near the Hoover area. Very heavy rain moving through Pelham, Alabaster, right along I-65 there in northern Shelby County. So that's where we're seeing one of those stronger thunderstorms across our area. Heavy rain and lightning continue in the city of Tuscaloosa and south of the city of Tuscaloosa. Stretching down into northern Hale County, south of Moundville, we do have some very heavy rain through Harpers Hill and some lightning there as well near Ingram. And this is going to continue moving southward. So that'll be moving into parts of Bibb County and into Perry County here pretty soon. Other than that, a lot of scattered rain. So Pickens County, you are still seeing some rain. But at this point, pretty much done with the thunder there. Some light rain showers falling over Fayette County, stretching down into Walker County. North of the city of Birmingham and Fultondale, we do still have rain falling, but we're done with the thunderstorms and the threat of strong thunderstorms in that area. Moving a little bit farther eastward, heavy rain near Moody, Wolf Creek, through parts of St. Clair County, into Shelby County, we've got that heavy rain. Talladega County, north of the city of Talladega, some heavy rain falling there as well. If you live in Ohatchee, you're hearing thunder. In Raglan, more of the same. Right along I-20, heavy rain. But the good news is, I know I keep saying it, but good news is that there is nothing that is severe warned at this point. We do not have severe warnings ongoing in our state. So we are looking at possibility of some gusty winds, but nothing that warrants that severe warning. Of course, you know, to have a severe thunderstorm warning, you need winds over 60 miles per hour or hail up to 1 inch or over 1 inch. And we do not have that with any of the thunderstorms that we are tracking at this point. Over into Georgia, they do have some severe warnings ongoing, but that is not the case across central Alabama at this point, which we are very thankful for, and we're hoping that these do stay well behaved in the coming hours. And the National Weather Service is monitoring this, and they'll continue to drop counties from this watch as the threat comes to an end. I do suspect that some of the next counties to be dropped from the watch would be Etowah County. Likely as these storms cross over into Shelby County, Jefferson County will be dropped here pretty soon, and then Cherokee County as well. Of course, make sure you've got a way to get those warnings. At this point, you're still under that tornado watch, but I do suspect you were the next few counties in line to be dropped from that warning. Let's take a look. Oh, we do have it pulled up there from that Galleria Tower camera where we've had a lot of lightning ongoing from that camera. Heavy rain, constant thunder. So a lot of folks probably waking up right now because it's loud outside. But the good news is that we don't have any severe warnings at this point. We did have a tornado that touched down in Jefferson County, impacting parts of Fultondale. That is where we've had some of the most widespread damage reported, and we are going to have a more clear picture of the extent of that damage as we get into the next couple of hours here. Once the sun comes up, we'll be able to get a better picture of what's going on there. But we do know that there were injuries reported. We do know that there were homes that were destroyed. And rough situation in Fultondale and portions of northern Jefferson County as we did have that tornado. The tornado warning came out just after 10:30, and looks like the tornado likely touched down about 10 minutes after that. So at this point, we are learning more, and we are we have crews out in the field that are giving us a clearer picture of what things look like up there, but it does appear there was some major damage across parts of Jefferson County with that tornado warning earlier this evening. At this point, the yellow boxes, that is where we have a tornado watch. So the threat for a tornado is not zero. The overall threat is diminishing as these storms move southward. They will continue to weaken in the coming hours, but at this point, the threat is not zero. So you want to make sure you've got a way to get those warnings overnight. So before you close your eyes and go back to sleep, make sure there is a way that will wake you up where you can hear those warnings if they're necessary in the next few hours as these storms continue to move farther southward. I'm looking here at the chat. And they're kind of agreeing with what I'm saying at this point. National Weather Service saying there's nothing out there that is too concerning. Yes, it's loud. Yes, there's heavy rain and likely some gusty winds, but nothing at this point that looks suspicious in terms of needing a warning or anything like that at this point.
I will say it's loud. You can hear it. I've been back in the office for just a second, and obviously it is very loud for a lot of people, and maybe you're just waking to the thunder. It's 1:47, and understand we have no warnings in effect. We had a horrible, horrible tornado last night in the northern part of the Birmingham metro that affected Fultondale, parts of Center Point. But other than that, that's been the biggest issue, and these storms have not produced any damage. And again, we probably got some hail falling in this segment here from southeastern Tuscaloosa County, Duncanville, down toward the northern part of Greensboro. That'll be coming through parts of Bibb County, West Blockton, Centerville, Brent, and that could produce some small hail, strong winds, a lot of heavy rain. In the Birmingham metro, again, noisy storms are in northern Shelby County. You might be waking up, you hear that loud thunder. Understand, we have no tornado issues. We have no chance of any damaging wind at the moment. And then we have heavier rain falling through parts of St. Clair County, Cropwell, Logan Martin Lake, back over to Bynum, East Aboga, Anniston, Jacksonville, back up towards Spring Garden. But we have no warnings in effect. That's the key, and that's the good news. And again, quite frankly, I don't expect that many warnings, maybe no more warnings. But still, as a course of least regret, the Storm Prediction Center has a tornado watch in effect down to Perry, Chilton, Coosa, Clay, and Randolph. Those are the southernmost counties, and that watch will be in effect until 6 a.m. What's going to happen? The Weather Service will be clearing these counties probably within 30 minutes. Etowah, Blount, or St. Clair, Jefferson, and Tuscaloosa as the storms drop down to the south. They'll be clearing counties from north to south for the rest of the morning. And again, the severe weather risk has ended for Blount, Cullman, Walker, Winston, Fayette, Marion, Lamar, Pickens, Marshall, DeKalb counties, and counties up to the Tennessee state line. The storms are south of there. The surface front is very close now to Interstate 59, and that will continue to sag south. And with time, the instability values will likely decrease, and again, slowly things will fade away here. But, you know, we talked about this last night. I said this is not a classic tornado setup here, but all it takes is one. If there's one tornado in the whole state, and if that sucker comes down your street, it's a big deal. Well, that happened tonight for our friends in Fultondale and parts of Center Point, right up in through here. This is where that tornado came through. And again, once we get that first light of day, we can get the drones up. We can see the wide view of the damage, and we'll have a better idea of the injury count and things like that. But if you've missed it, we've been speaking with the mayors of both Fultondale and Center Point. It sounds like, to their knowledge right now, about 25 injuries. None are life-threatening at this point. But remember, search and rescue operations are ongoing at this point. There's still a lot of things we simply don't know, and we will not know for probably a few more hours. And again, you can see some of the live video coming in from our crews. Okay, so this is now video from Center Point. You've been seeing, okay, this is Sun Hill Road. And again, Sun Hill Road is in the northern part of Center Point. That's near the Birmingham line. You've got this Sun Hill Elementary School. Probably the biggest landmark in that vicinity is the former Hilldale Baptist Church campus. A new church has moved in. I honestly can't recall the name of the newer church, but that is a big church campus up there. And again, we understand that the church, the former Hilldale Baptist Church, lost part of the roof. The mayor told us the steeple, I think, was partly in the road, and there's very significant damage. And again, this is going to be in the northern part of Center Point, and we talked with Mayor Scott. He said that the Parkway has really sustained no major damage. Center Point Parkway, all of this is up in the far northern part of Center Point. And again, this is not too far from the Birmingham line, line there, Sun Hill Road, Sun Valley, near Jefferson State. Sun Hill Road really runs right through Jefferson State Community College, then into Center Point. And once you get past Jeff State up there, you keep going on Sun Hill into Center Point, and this is where this camera feed is set up. And obviously it's just dark as could be out there. We're not going to be able to see a lot, but there's obviously considerable damage after talking with the mayor. Again,
that looks like the steeple there.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm trying to figure out what that structure is exactly. And that does look like the church steeple. I can see it now, that white structure right behind that Jefferson County Sheriff Cruiser. And more than likely, they are at the old Hilldale Baptist Church campus that is up in the far northern part of Center Point. And I've been in that building many times over the years. It's a large church, and that's a pretty big steeple. But I want to say the city purchased that church in 2017, and I think they resold it to a new church that's in the process of moving in. But anyway, there's just been some considerable damage up in there. So you've seen our live crew that is in Center Point here. You've seen the live feed coming from Fultondale earlier. And in between those two municipalities, you've got Newcastle Road that is one of the major thoroughfares, and there's been a lot of damage along that road. And also Carson Road. Newcastle Road and Carson Road connect Fultondale with Pinson Valley Parkway, Alabama Highway 79. Again, there's just been a lot of damage, and that's clearly the steeple of the church. You can tell by looking at it now. That thing's been there a long time, and that's a pretty well-built building. I've been in there a lot, and I just hate to see that. And again, we've had so many people that have lost their homes tonight. So many people that are looking for just a place to stay. Anytime we have a tornado tragedy like this, it's a humanitarian problem, and it will be for days. And our greatest concern is after the TV people go away up there for a few days. They're going to need some help for, a lengthy period of time to get back on their feet, to start anew, if you will. And we just hate to see this. But it happens here. This is Alabama. This is tornado country. And let me just say this. A lot of people are asking, isn't this odd to have tornadoes in January? Not really. I've answered this a lot on social media today. Over the years, I've kind of changed my tune. I used to say in Alabama we have two distinct tornado seasons. One is November, December. The other is March, April, May. I think we have one. Starts in November, goes through May. That's it, one season. If you look at the number of occurrences in January and February here, tornado occurrences, we've had hundreds of them. And the decrease is not enough just not to consider that the tornado season. So I can write a book alone just on January tornadoes we've had in this state, tragic tornadoes going way back. So no, we have tornadoes here in January and February, and it's tragic, but they do happen. And again, this is not going to be some big outbreak with 50 tornadoes in one night, these historical outbreaks. No, it's going to be a night with probably just one tornado. But again, as I say, if it's in your town, it's a big deal. That is a major story tonight. And the warning process worked pretty well. For those that were watching us, the ABC 3340 News was ending at 10:35. And right literally as we were going back to programming, I was about to wrap it up, the tornado warning for Jefferson County came out, and we didn't go back to programming. We just kept on going. And that warning allowed people in Fultondale about 10 minutes, it seems like, from talking with people. 10 minutes. If you got that warning, you had 10 minutes to get to a safe place. And that's a reasonable amount of time. And for the ones that heard the warning and got to a safe place, they're okay. They lost their home, but they're okay. You can rebuild that house. It's a horrible pain. It's not easy to do, but you can rebuild things. But we're just we're glad for the people that lived through this horrible situation tonight. And again, I was going to show a few more quick images here in just a second. If you've not seen some of the still images coming in, it's pretty rough. Again, in fact, I'll just probably do it on this one. It's going to show some of the images from Fultondale, an example of the structures that were lost up there last night. And again, this happened between about 10:45 and 11:15, somewhere in that time frame. But let's go to WEX 05. And again, this is pretty tough, kind of personal. This is a friend of mine. This is a friend. His name is Jason. Beautiful family. They live in Fultondale, and their home is gone. There's nothing left. But you know, they heard the warning. They heard that warning, and they responded. They got into their safe place, and as bad as it looks, they survived, and they will live to tell about it. Unfortunately, their pets did not survive, but the family survived. Their house is gone, and I'm afraid that that's what it's looking like all through Center Point tonight. This is another remarkable image, and if you didn't see this one, this is a home, and they heard the warning. Their weather radio sounded. Understand, you know, a lot of people like me, listen, if I didn't do the 10 o'clock news, I'd probably be in bed by 8:30. I'd get up at 4 o'clock, but, you know, I don't know what their situation was, but that weather radio sounded, and they heard the tornado warning that way, and they responded. They got to their safe place. If they would have stayed in that bed, you probably have a fatality right there. And again, this was in the community of Fultondale that was hit so hard tonight by tornadoes. And we're seeing more and more of these images coming in. Let's go back to the radar really quickly here. It's 1:58. We're coming up on 2 o'clock. This is WBMA Birmingham, ABC 3340, as we are in long-form programming here covering the tornadoes. Let's go back to WEX 05. These are some more images. This is, again, some damage from a home that is in Fultondale. Again, that's just an example of the stuff that's going on there. You can see trees down, fencing down, and things like that. So let's go back to the radar. And if you're just joining us here, maybe it's pouring rain at your house, and maybe you're hearing a lot of thunder that's really, really loud, and you're worried. The reason we're not, you know, focusing on these storms that much right now, they're not severe. And I know, trust me, I know they're bad, but everybody has a different definition of severe. Some people think if there's a lot of lightning or thunder, it's severe. Well, in the weather enterprise, we have a very strict definition. To be severe, a storm has to have 58-mile-per-hour winds or greater, or hail 1 inch or larger in diameter. That's what makes a storm severe. These are not at that level. They're loud, thunder, lightning, gusty winds, torrential rain, some small hail. But Taylor, let's do a tour here. Let's start with this cluster coming into West Blockton, Centerville, and Brent. These have come, and by the way, for Tuscaloosa, your severe weather risk has ended. The watch will be cleared soon for Tuscaloosa County. That's Alabama Highway 5. And there might be some small hail falling. That's US 82, Centerville back up to Duncanville in Tuscaloosa County. Maybe some small hail. That stuff is coming into Centerville and Brent. And again, it's going to pour. It's going to be windy, loud, but not severe. No evidence of a tornado whatsoever. Let's go into Shelby County up here. Again, we've got some of the heaviest rain is now falling down the Highway 280 corridor. This is Chelsea. This is Westover right here. This is Harpersville. Just pouring down here from Chelsea down toward Columbiana. Also heavy rain falling Donovan down Highway 25 down toward Vincent. Again, loud, noisy, but not severe. Let's keep working our way to the east. We'll kind of take a radar tour. Again, you can see right here, this is Pell City. This is Logan Martin Lake. Pouring on top of the lake right now, Riverside, but same thing, nothing severe. We'll keep working our way to the east, Bynum, East Aboga, Oxford, then curving back up Highway 9 toward White Plains, then curving back up into northern Cleveland County. Same deal. We've got just noisy storms, heavy rain, it's windy, but at this point we see nothing to support anything severe at this point. But there's a tornado watch until 6 a.m. You see the counties highlighted here in yellow. The tornado watch runs until 6 a.m., but the watch will be canceled from north to south in coming hours as the storms continue sagging slowly to the south. So let's go back to a wider view, and I will say for the city of Birmingham and the city of Tuscaloosa, the severe weather threat has ended. I can tell you that now. The storms are well to the south and east of Tuscaloosa, south and east of Birmingham, and soon the Weather Service will be canceling this watch for Cherokee, Etowah, St. Clair, Jefferson, and Tuscaloosa. They've still got a few little spots in here, but the threat is basically over for those counties. And we'll focus on the counties down here south of Interstate 20. Again, counties like Perry, Bibb, Chilton, Shelby, Coosa, Clay, Randolph, Talladega, Cleburne. We'll keep watching these counties. But again, the good news here at 2:01 a.m., we have not had any severe weather reports in a while. So Taylor, back over to you. I'll come back with some more images here in just a second.
All right, I will turn on my mic. There we go. Now I got my mic on. And we will go through an hour by hour look at what you can expect as we move on through the rest of the morning. So of course we do have that tornado watch that lasts through 6 a.m., but that's going to continue to be whittled away from the north as those storms continue moving southward. Here's that view from our Galleria Tower camera. This is in Hoover, and we have seen a lot of lightning from this camera. I can hear the thunder outside right now. Our station is located in Hoover, and at one point we actually saw the street lights go out, so lost power, and all of the street lights there on 459 went out for about a minute or two. Now they are back, but that's kind of what we've got going on across the area. We've got a lot of lightning. You might lose power for a few minutes. It rains really hard. Winds are gusty. It's loud, but nothing severe at this point. And as we look towards the next few hours, this morning we will see improving weather conditions. So here's that hour by hour. This is what we've got going on right now, a line of strong thunderstorms right along I-20. That continues moving southward. So by about 3 a.m., we're looking at that line extending through Perry County. This is a model projection. So this is what a computer model thinks the radar will look like, but it's been doing a pretty good job. It's initializing well. It's showing us right now what's happening very well. So we do feel that this is going to be a pretty good indication of what's happening in the future. 3 a.m., we've got a line extending through Perry County, Chilton County, Coosa County, Talladega, Clay, into Cleburne. Moving towards about 4 or 5 o'clock, that line keeps slowly moving southward. It'll be likely through Autauga, Elmore, Tallapoosa, Chambers counties at that point. And yes, we will see an ongoing threat for a strong storm or two. But for the most part, for most of you, your severe threat will be over. By the time you are headed out the door, maybe to go to work, maybe to go to school, most of us will all be dry. Most of us will be done with the threat of any severe weather at that point. The streets may still be wet, so you're probably going to want to take it slow tomorrow because we have seen so much rain overnight, but there will not likely be active rain falling for most locations at that point. Then we are mostly dry tomorrow, and we will see some clouds at times. Eventually, late in the evening tomorrow night, we will start to see that front move back farther northward. And as that happens, we are going to see the possibility of rain come back into the forecast. So that's going to be late tomorrow evening, likely, or I guess it is Tuesday now, late this evening after you're likely going to bed. Then as we move on into early Wednesday, we keep rain around. So Wednesday morning will be a wet commute for a lot of folks. The streets will be wet, so plan accordingly. And then by the afternoon hours, we are dry. And then we get a break from some of the rain. We are going to see drier, colder air move into the state, bringing us colder temperatures for Thursday and Friday. And we will see the sunshine on Thursday and Friday. Of course, today we've got these storms this morning. We will keep some clouds around at times, and then rain arrives once again late this evening. So really what's going on is that front's going to stall off to our south, and then it's going to move back northward. This has been the scene over the last few hours. Let's take a look across the southeast, and you see that one line there that extends from Mississippi into central Alabama into North Georgia. That is the main surface cold front. So that's continuing to slowly move across the state. That is where we have that risk of a strong to severe storm. And at this point, we are thankful that these storms are now fairly well behaved. You can see a lot of lightning being indicated there and some heavy rain, but at this point we do not have anything severe. So I'll take you through, if you're just waking up and you are hearing the thunder, we'll talk about some of the places that are seeing some heavy rain. So Forkland, you are seeing some heavy rain. That pocket of heavy rain also to the south of Bology. And this is going to keep moving towards Demopolis here pretty soon. Greensboro, some scattered showers near you. One of the heavier pockets of rain showing up in Bibb County, stretching from West Boston down to Brent. And we got quite a bit of lightning with that thunderstorm. Possibly some small hail, but nothing at severe limits at this point. And as we look farther northeastward, we do have some rain showing up over Shelby County. Lots of thunder being reported, or lots of lightning being reported, likely a lot of thunder near Chelsea, near Harpersville, into northern portions of Shelby County, near Dunavant, near Calcis, Vincent. And this shower does stretch into St. Clair and Talladega counties as well. A lot of lightning showing up just to the north of Lincoln. So you're likely hearing some thunder, but nothing severe at this point. Rain covering pretty much all of Calhoun County. So Anniston, Oxford, heavy rain there. Ohatchee with some rain. Jacksonville, but nothing severe. And then as we move towards Cleburne County, we do have quite a bit of lightning in northern Cleburne County and southern Cherokee County near Oak Level. But at this point, we are not looking at any severe thunderstorms with this. So that is certainly some good news. And we are hoping that these do continue to stay well behaved as we move on through the rest of the morning. So at this point, we are expecting some more counties to be dropped from this watch here pretty soon. We've seen the worst of the weather move out of Cherokee County, so I would not be surprised to see that county dropped from the watch pretty soon here. Also with Etowah County, St. Clair County, you are almost done with that severe threat, and you'll likely be dropped here pretty soon. Jefferson County, those stronger storms are moving to the south. Tuscaloosa County, your severe threat is coming to an end as well. So I would not be surprised if we see those counties dropped pretty soon. But it will remain for Greene, Hale, Perry, Bibb, Chilton, Shelby, Coosa, Talladega, Clay, Cleburne, and Randolph counties through 6 a.m. So we will be watching and monitoring this ongoing severe threat. And at this point, really the strongest thunderstorm in central Alabama is in Bibb County at this point. So West Blockton, Brent, Piper, that is where we have that strongest thunderstorm. I'm going to check on the hail here. Let's see if we have any hail being reported. No, we're not showing any hail falling with this. So likely just some heavy rain. I do want to point out that we had an aerial flood advisory. I'm not sure when that was set to expire, so it might have already expired, but we'll put it on and see. We do still have an aerial flood advisory in that green box that covers Pickens, northern Tuscaloosa, southern Fayette, much of Walker, northern Jefferson, southern Blount, and into portions of St. Clair and Etowah counties. And this means that, yes, there could be some ponding on the roads. We could have some minor flooding issues. This is going to last through, let's see here, through 2:30 a.m. So actually we have just about 21 minutes to go on that, just under 21 minutes to go. So yes, we've seen a lot of heavy rain with these. Let's take a tour of, I'm going to change some of our tower cams here and let's see what we can see out there. I'm going to change it to our Galleria tower camera in Hoover. Wet streets, things have really calmed down here in the last few minutes. So it lasts about 30 minutes. You see those strong storms and then it quiets down once those move through. Just a few minutes ago, we had almost constant lightning from this view, very heavy rain. As I was saying earlier, we had the power go out from this view a few minutes ago. I am receiving word that there are likely going to be some more counties cleared from that tornado watch here pretty soon. So that's likely going to be those northernmost counties that we were talking about just a few minutes ago.
Let's show some pictures real quick,
Okay.
Taylor. Again, let's go to WEXO 5. These are images coming in from Fultondale. And again, sometimes we talk about entrapment, and this is what happens. A tree falls onto a house, and sometimes you just can't get out of there. The house is heavily damaged. The tree blocks all of the abilities, the ways to get out, and we've had a lot of that tonight. And again, these are some of the images taken from inside homes and structures in the city of Fultondale tonight. And understand the search and rescue operations continue this evening. This is something that's going to go on through the night. These images are coming in from Hearst Towing in Fultondale. And I want to say that they're on Carson Road or maybe Sun Hill Road. Not quite sure which one. I'm sorry, Castle Road. One of those two roads, Newcastle Road, coming out of Fultondale. But again, there's just major damage at these facilities. And again, once we get the first light of day, we'll know more. And again, this is some of the damage from a home in Fultondale, just to give you an idea what it looks like. That was a nice home, and it's gone. And again, thankfully, the people that live there, they're okay. Their pets did not survive, but they did. And they'll have to start putting their lives back together tomorrow. And not just this family, but many families, I'm afraid, are homeless after the event we had last night. And again, all of this damage happened between about 10:45 and 11:15 from Fultondale on up into the northern part of Center Point. And again, some of the more significant damage was on Newcastle Road and Carson Road, which is just to the east of Fultondale, back up toward northern Center Point, Sun Hill Road. And again, I wanted to clarify too, we'll go back to the radar. We can do that for just a second to clarify. We talked about, and I don't know, do we have that shot, by the way, from Center Point, if by chance? Okay, it's not there at this moment, but the Hilldale Baptist Church campus was sold to the city of Center Point a few years ago, and now it's the Civic Center for the city of Center Point, and Victory City Church rents space there, so they have their services there. So that's that structure that we talked about where you saw the steeple out in the road. That was the former Hilldale Baptist Church. I want to say that the sale went through 4 years ago to the city of Center Point. Now it's the Center Point Civic Center. And again, Victory City Church has their services there. So that's more details on that. But again, that building has been there for certainly a long time tonight. So it's been a rough night for our friends just north of downtown Birmingham, from Fultondale back up to Center Point. And again, we're going to obviously know much more about what's happened here at the first light of day. But again, Tuscaloosa County, I'll tell you now, your severe weather risk is over. Formally, that watch will be canceled here in a few minutes, but Tuscaloosa County, you're done. Jefferson County, you are done. St. Clair, if you're down here, Cropwell, in the far southern tip of St. Clair, you've still got active thunderstorms in progress. Etowah, Cherokee, risk of severe weather is ended. So again, Cherokee, Etowah, Jefferson, Tuscaloosa, the severe weather risk is ended. If you're the type that stays up all night with thunderstorms, you can go to bed. You're done. You might hear some thunder off in the distance, but that's moving away from you. Heavier storms now through parts of southern Greene County, Forkland, down toward Demopolis and northern Marengo. Big storms in Bibb County. It's pouring. Loud storms, very loud. But again, you have to define, what is a severe storm? You have to do that, and these are not severe. They don't have damaging wind. They don't have large hail. They've just got a lot of thunder, lightning, heavy rain, and gusty winds. But that's from West Blockton right down Highway 5 to Brent and Centerville. Shelby County, moderate to heavy rain falling in spots. A lot of lightning output here around Pell City, again, right on top of Logan Martin Lake, back into Talladega County around Alpine, Anniston, East Aboga, Oxford, Bynum, and then into Cherokee County as well. But along and south of that line, we still have a tornado watch until 6 a.m. I don't think it's going to run until 6 a.m. It should be canceled before that as the storms weaken or drop to the south of that zone. But the Storm Prediction Center opted to extend that. We've not had a warning since the Northern Calhoun warning a while back. It's been a while. We've not had a warning in quite a while. And again, we'll stay with this for a little bit. We're going to spin this thing down and kind of phase back into World News Now in just a little bit. Again, the reason we have stayed on so long tonight, it's not because we've had no warnings for a while. We just wanted to be sure you understood the magnitude of the damage that is in progress. And by the way, officially, the Weather Service is canceling Cherokee, Etowah, Jefferson, and Tuscaloosa, the things we talked about. So those are going to pop off here in just a second. But we wanted to stay on the air a little longer just to let you know of the damage and the things that have happened up there. And again, at 4:30 in about 2 hours, we'll be back on the air with our newscast, and once we get that daylight, we'll know much more. And the daylight comes about 6:30, 7 o'clock this time of the year. And we'll get the drone. There goes the counties off the board. So Jefferson, Tuscaloosa, the risk of severe weather is over. St. Clair, most of St. Clair, risk of severe weather is over, except for Pell City and Point South. And again, we stress we will watch these like a hawk. We're going nowhere. We'll watch those carefully, but again, in just probably about 2:30 or so, we'll kind of phase back to regular programming. Seeing a tweet here from Homewood Fire. Homewood Fire is sending units to Fultondale to assist with search and rescue operations after the storms. And I know that Hoover, the city of Hoover, has sent some vehicles up there. I believe the city of Birmingham has sent some vehicles up there, these heavy rescue type vehicles to assist Fultondale in doing search and rescue operations. And this is something that's going to go on throughout the rest of the morning. And hopefully by the time we get to 5, 6, 7 o'clock, they will be able to search all of the damaged and destroyed homes and give us some official numbers in terms of the injured. And again, let me stress, we have heard of no official reports of fatalities, none. That's good news. Injuries, yes, 20, 25 injuries, but even with the injuries we've heard from the mayors of Fultondale and Centerpoint, no reports of any life-threatening injuries. The injuries were relatively minor, which I think is a sign that the warning system worked. That's always the goal here. Our goal, the reason we're here, it's to mitigate loss of life during severe weather. That's it. And if we can accomplish that after a tornado coming through a densely populated part of the world like this, then we have certainly accomplished our job as a weather enterprise, not just us, but everybody working together, the Weather Service, broadcasters, everybody else. But it's just been a rough night, and our heart goes out to those people that have lost their homes, that are suffering so badly, and that will have to start to rebuild. And many people will start to do that tomorrow. Some of the businesses won't be able to conduct commerce tomorrow because their businesses have been destroyed or heavily damaged. It's just been a very rough night. And again, I want to stress this too, and you've heard me say this, and you've heard the mayor say it, and you've heard everybody say it, and you know, boneheads are going to be boneheads. They're not going to listen to us, but most people that watch us are respectful and they have common sense, and just please don't go up there. You know, all the TV people are there, and all the video that we need, we've gotten. We're not going to buy your video because we've got it, we're there. You know, a lot of people think it's a gold mine, a land grab where they get all these YouTube views and sell it to these news operations. In this case, please just stay out of there. I mean, look, I'm all for making money. That's great. But in this situation, when the first responders say, we're doing search and rescue, we don't want anybody here, that means you and me, and stay out. So just understand, please consider honoring that request when it comes to Fultondale and Centerpoint. We'll get the drone up first thing in the morning, and again, you'll see all this throughout the day on our newscast. When we're not on the air, you can watch our social media feeds and the apps and everything else. You'll be able to see that. But it's very reminiscent for me of January 23rd, 2012. I'll never forget that horrible night. We had a tornado that came through Oak Grove in the western part of Jefferson County, and then the tornado that came through Centerpoint and Clay. It killed Christina Heichelbeck. She was a 16-year-old girl, a Shades Valley High School student, pre-dawn tornado. And, you know, we learned a lot about that event, and that we had a problem with siren dependency, and there was just a lot of issues. And I think that started the process where we're going to roll up our sleeves and work on this warning process. After April 27, 2011, and then we had January 23rd of 2012. And we've worked really hard over the last 10 years on the things we've learned from social scientists. What we do physical science. That's all we know. And quite frankly, that's not enough. We don't understand human behavior. We don't understand social science, and they've really helped us. And so we're hoping that the things we've learned from social scientists will help us in the weather enterprise be better communicators and be more effective in reaching people. And just maybe the fact that we've not heard of any loss of life tonight, some of this stuff is starting to work. We certainly hope so. So again, we are now at 2:21. James Spann with Taylor Serralo. We've been on the air continuously here since 10:35. We're watching the storm south of Interstate 20. All right, they start down there around Forkland, New Bern, and Hale County, Forkland and Greene County. Centerville, Brent, over here, West Blockton, approaching Randolph, the western part of Shelby County, Montevallo, Pea Ridge, Maline, Helena. We've got heavy rain, big storms in progress now across the southern part of Logan Martin Lake down here near the dam, curving back into Talladega County down toward Sycamore, Alpine, places like that. Pretty good storms around Anniston, Oxford, back up toward Jacksonville. And again, these suckers are noisy. And I understand, you know, it's the middle of the night. These things wake you up. You're wondering, are we having a tornado? Well, the answer is no. If you're just joining us and tuning in, these things are loud, but no, we do not have a tornado in any of these storms. They're not severe. We have no warnings. We've not had a warning now for a couple of hours. And I honestly think there's a pretty good chance we'll go through the morning without another warning. But again, just to be on the safe side, my friends at the Storm Prediction Center that expand that tornado watch to include Perry, Chilton, Coosa, Clay, Randolph, Talladega until 6 a.m. But I stress, for most of you, that's all over. Tuscaloosa County, the watch has been canceled. Jefferson County, the watch has been canceled. Blount, Etowah, and the next tier, you'll be losing it soon. Counties like Calhoun and St. Clair and Cleburne, the watch will be taken out there pretty soon. Shelby probably within the hour, Bibb within the hour, Greene and Hale within the hour. And again, understand, when we go back to regular programming here in about 8 minutes, we're not ignoring things. We basically need our crew a chance to reset in the field for coverage tomorrow morning, or I say tomorrow, this morning that starts at 4:30. But we're going to be here in the office watching these things with an eagle eye. And if anything happens that you need to know, we're going to come right back on the air. But again, so many people, this is what they say. They say, well, I'm down here in Thorsby, or I'm down here in Rockford, or I'm down here in Mellow Valley, and I'm in a tornado watch. Do I need to stay up all night? Well, if you've got a weather radio, go to sleep. That sucker's going to wake you up. It's loud. And that's why every home needs one. With phones, what if your battery dies on your phone, if the cell service goes out? You know, this is great. We love getting warnings to people by phone. Our app is a marvelous app. That's what we recommend. ABC 3340's app to get warnings. And WIA, wireless emergency alerts. That's with no app on your phone. It just pushes tornado warnings and flash flood warnings. But we like for you to have two sources, a weather radio and your phone. And go to sleep. You'll be awakened by that. And if there's a tornado warning, I guarantee you will be on television covering the tornado warning. And I promise we'll talk your way through it. We can't show you much in the middle of the night. That's one of the frustrating things. One thing we've learned from social scientists, people see this, and Taylor, what do they see? A bucket of
paint, spilled paint.
Spilled paint, yeah. And we do our best to explain all of this, but we start showing wind velocity, we start showing correlation coefficient and all these things, and people just see all these colors, and after a while, they just phase it out. You know, their eyes start spinning and rolling in the back of their head, and they say, oh boy, what are they talking about? But if we show a live stream of a tornado, you're digging a hole, and you're going to be in a safe place, and we just can't do that with these kind of events, and we have a lot of these. I wish I knew how many times in my 42-year career I've been on TV at 2:24 a.m. talking about potential for severe storms. We get middle-of-the-night storms often here, and often they're like these. We had one horrible tornado tonight, one, and that's it. Rest of them haven't really done much, thank goodness. But it just happens. But I'm just telling you, we will be on the air if there's a tornado warning. I promise you that. And again, we typically would have gone back to regular programming 2 hours ago, but we just thought based on the nature of what's happened, we needed to stay on for a while. And we'll stay here for about 5 more minutes, and we'll just kind of talk you through 2:30. So Taylor, let's go back over to you. You were in the operations center.
Okay, yeah, let's look at some sky cams. I've been watching our sky cams. Got a lot of lightning out there. We're still hearing thunder from our studio here. This is the view from our Grandview Medical Center camera. We're looking over 280 here. At times we are seeing lightning in the distance, but things have quieted down from where this camera is located. It's located on the top of the Grandview Medical Center building. Let's look from our Galleria Tower camera in Hoover. At this point, things are quieting down at this location as well. Earlier, we had near constant lightning, and at one point, all of the street lights went out. We had a big lightning strike, and all of those street lights there on 459 went out for about 2 minutes. It was completely dark from this view, but now it does look like that power is back, so conditions improving from this view as well. Let's take a look here from our Children's of Alabama camera. I'm just going to kind of cycle through some of our cameras that are working. Looks like this one is actually out of focus, but things are quieting down in the city of Birmingham. We've been dropped from that tornado watch in Jefferson County. And we'll take a look here from our Gadsden camera. So in Etowah County, looks like things are pretty quiet from that view as well. But of course, that's not the story everywhere, because some of you are probably watching and saying, well, it's not quiet where I am. And so we'll take a look at the radar. A lot of rain, heavy rain, a lot of lightning and thunder over Hale County. That does cover Greensboro, Rosemary, Millwood, Evansville. And this is going to continue moving towards Perry County pretty soon. So the general motion of these thunderstorms is to the southeast as that front pushes southward across central Alabama. Lots and lots and lots and lots of lightning here near Antioch in Bibb County, near Ashby, Oakley. This line here it's now east of Brent, but a lot of lightning there. And look at all of the heavy rain. Now you see the circle here. That's actually where our radar is located. And a lot of heavy rain right at that location. So that's going to be the Shelby County Airport, seeing a lot of heavy rain at this point with lots of thunder. And that does include locations like Shelby Springs, Calera, Maline, Alabaster, Pelham, Columbiana, very heavy rain there, Wilsonville, Childersburg. And then this line extends through Talladega County towards the city of Talladega. And that extends northward up towards Lincoln, right along I-20 as well. And into Calhoun County, south of Jacksonville, we do have a lot of lightning showing up near Weaver and south of the city of Anniston, right along I-20. And this line there is starting to cross over into Cleburne County. But for the most part, yes, we've been dropped from that warning across Etowah County. So we were looking at that quiet view from our Gadsden camera. We were looking at a quiet view from our Hoover camera and our downtown Birmingham camera. Jefferson County, you're done for the night. You are good to go to sleep. You are done with the watch. You are done with any strong thunderstorms. More of the same in Tuscaloosa. You're done with the watch. So you're done with that threat of strong storms. Same story for Pickens County, Lamar, Fayette, Walker, Marion, Winston, Coleman, Blount County, Cherokee County. Those are all the counties where we no longer have a tornado watch. It's all of these yellow counties here. In St. Clair, you haven't been dropped yet, but those stronger storms have pushed into Talladega County, so you are done with that severe threat as well. I do want to walk you through the rest of your morning. So if you are waking up early right now and you are wondering what to expect today, well, we will see improving weather conditions. So through the rest of the morning, we continue to see this line move southward. So by about 4 or 5 a.m., as we are in our morning show, those thunderstorms will be moving through Tallapoosa County, Chambers County, and most of the area will be dry. We'll have clouds around, temperatures in the 50s. The streets will likely still be wet just because we had so much rain overnight. So as you're headed to work or school this morning, yes, wet roadways, but not looking at active rain falling. And then much of the day will be partly to mostly cloudy at times. This is the afternoon. And temperatures are warm once again. We'll see 60s in most spots today. And what's going to happen is that front's going to stall to our south, and then it lifts back northward as a wave forms along that front. And what that means is rain does come back late this evening. So likely after most of you are in for the night. This is 11 p.m. Starting to see some more rain moving northward. So it starts raining first south of I-20, and that spreads across the entire area overnight into early tomorrow morning. We're not expecting severe weather with this system moving through late tonight into tomorrow morning. But it will be a wet commute tomorrow morning, so plan for that. Wednesday morning, yes, as you're headed to work or school, we will have scattered rain around. And Eventually, we will be drying through the day on Wednesday, and after that, we get a couple quiet days. A couple quiet days, but also a couple cool days. We've got colder, drier air working its way into the state, which means our temperatures for Thursday and Friday morning will fall back down below the freezing mark, but we will see sunshine again with that drier air in place. So we've got to make it through another round of rain late tonight into tomorrow, but no severe threat, just another round of rain, and then we will see a couple days of sunshine. Let's take a look at the radar here once again. We can kind of see where, I'm going to turn off that radar sweep there, and we can see where some of the heavier storms are. Still Greensboro, you're still dealing with that heavy rain. Lots of lightning, lots of thunder, really covering much of Hale County at this point, and those will continue to push towards Perry County. These thunderstorms here are in southeast Bibb County near Antioch. Those are going to be pushing into Chilton County here pretty soon. And so you're going to start to hear the thunder. Heavy rain still covering much of Shelby County, especially right along I-65, stretch from Pelham down to Calera. That's where we have some of the heaviest rain falling right now in Shelby County. Childersburg, you are seeing some heavy rain and likely hearing some thunder. And then the city of Talladega, quite a few lightning strikes right over the city of Talladega. And then that batch of heavy rain stretches towards Munford and right along I-20 there. Looking towards Calhoun County here, most of the strong thunderstorms are starting to push out of Calhoun County, so your severe threat is pretty much coming to an end as well at this point. So let's see here. Do we have any updates from the National Weather Service on that watch? Nope, not yet. But I do suspect that we will see St. Clair County dropped pretty soon here, and Calhoun County dropped from that watch pretty soon as well.
So let me just say what we're going to do logistically for everybody in the building. We're going to go back to programming here in a couple of minutes. And again, We've been talking here for hours and hours with no warnings, and we really don't like to do that. We do not like to cut off programming for the sake of cutting off programming. We don't have any severe weather in progress. We have some loud storms that are in progress, and we're going to watch these with an eagle eye. And if there is a tornado warning, we will be back on the air in a heartbeat, and we will stay on the air like we always do. But what we're going to do is kind of phase back into regular programming here. And we'll come back with updates at the top of the hour at 3 a.m. and at 4 a.m. And then, of course, at 4:30, we go into our Good Morning Alabama newscast. Evan's going to be handling that this morning. So, again, we want to thank all of the people in the field for helping us tonight. We have the easiest job in the world. Taylor and I are sitting in a warm, dry studio. They're out in the middle of horrific conditions trying to get these live shots back to us, and I want to thank them for their work tonight. They're still out there in the field, and they'll be out there throughout the night. And again, you can watch at 4:30. Some of you just stay up all night, which is cool. I mean, I've not slept since 1973. Lack of sleep doesn't bother me, but again, the full newscast begins in about a little less than 2 hours at 4:30. But again, we'll come on at the top of the hour at 3, top of the hour at 4. And if there's a tornado warning, we're going to come on the air and we're going to stay on the air and we're going to just hang in there with it. But again, just to summarize what's happened overnight, before we go back to regular programming, we had a very significant tornado in Fultondale and parts of Center Point, north of Birmingham, last night between about 10:45 and 11 o'clock. We've had at least 20 to 25 injuries, most of them minor. We have heard of no fatalities, but there is widespread damage, major damage. Homes destroyed, businesses destroyed. And a search and rescue operation continues in Fultondale right now. They have many other units from different municipalities in the area coming in to help them with heavy equipment. So we will know much more about the injury count and the specifics in terms of the magnitude of this thing once we get that first light of day about 7 a.m. We get the drone up and we'll see what's happened up there. But it's been a very rough night. And basically that's it. One tornado in the whole state. And if you've ever heard me speak, I spoke today to a bunch of golf superintendents. I told them, listen, you know, people always ask whenever we have a severe weather threat, is this going to be like April 27, 2011? Well, of course, the answer is no. But listen, I don't like that. That's a bad question because obviously the answer is no. But listen, if there's one tornado in the whole state and if it comes to your town, that's your April 27th. And that's what happened in Fultondale and Center Point tonight. So we need to just keep lifting these people up. We'll try and help them as best they can get back on their feet. And we'll keep watching these storms with an eagle eye in advance of a cold front pushing south of Interstate 20. They are well below severe limits. They show no signs of being severe. Quite frankly, I do not expect any more warnings. But when it comes to thunderstorms, expect the unexpected. So we'll be watching carefully. We'll be back at the top of the hour at 3 a.m. With the next update, we'll see you then. I'm James Spann with Taylor Serrano live in the ABC 3340 Weather Center.